Oh, he's ready to snap into a Slim Jim and go to the realms of the Machoverse. Yeah, just all those places. Yeah. I'm just talking smack at this point, man. Let's get this show started. Oh, they're not ready.
Distance nerding.
Hey! Oh, we're ready for a show. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. It is 6 our time, but it is 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 Eastern. It is late on the East Coast. But ladies and gentlemen, we are here. You are now watching Distance Nerding. Oh, sirs, ladies and gentlemen, this man to my side right here is Adrian from Triggered Wrestling. And of course, I'm your boy. Hell yeah. And I'm your boy, Young Phil. And we are here to wrestle together.
Yeah. Talk about wrestling, nerd out a little bit.
Exactly. We're going to nerd out on wrestling tonight. It's going to be a little bit different in comparison to other shows that we do. We normally talk just regular nerding stuff, but because of the guests we have on tonight, I kind of figured, hey, let's do something more wrestling centric. We're going to talk some wrestling. We're going to do a great interview here in the first half of the show. We've got a great guest. And then the second half, we're going to get into more wrestling, but we're going to talk some general wrestling, but we're also going to talk, there was an event this weekend in Saudi Arabia. But it was actually a decent event for you can't always say that about WWE events. It was actually a decent event. So we're going to talk a little bit about Crown Jewel that happened over the weekend here. So with that all being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into some sponsor plugs here. And then once the sponsor plugs are done, I'm going to bring on the guests because we're going to have a whole crap ton of fun here. So ladies and gentlemen, this show, everything here that we do at Distance Nerding is brought to you by Pod Decks. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Pod Decks are a unique interview question and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you're a new podcaster or an existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddecks.com. Level up with Pod Decks. So if you're interested in Pod Decks, guys, they have more than just the decks. The decks are awesome. It's if you're a new interviewer, if you're not accustomed to doing interviews and stuff like that, it's a great start to learn how to do interviews and things like that. There is a wrestling deck actually written by a friend of the show, Garland from the Setting the Stage podcast. So on some wrestling stuff right there. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, if the entire show is brought to you by Pod Decks, then what brings Phil's energy and all the craziness, and it's not macho madness, it is Dubby.
Ooh.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Dubby's an emerging brand of energy drinks created to help focus concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. Dubby contains no maltodextrin, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Now, you might be asking yourself right now, what makes Dubby different from all the other energy drinks that are out there? Dubby is one of the few drinks that contains Neurofactor. It's a neurotropic derived from the coffee fruit. Neurofactor helps give your brain focus and clarity, while the 150 milligrams of caffeine and 3 essential B vitamins help you stay alert and energized. Unless you're the Macho Man Randy Savage, then you're just powered by Macho Madness. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're interested in some Dubby, all you got to do is head over to www.dubby.gg. Use the code nerding10, get 10% off your order. So, what I'm going to do here again, because I quickly want to get this in. Again, I'm choosing my favorite flavor just because I'm going to go right here. My favorite flavor here, guys, is Pushin' Punch, which is a fruit punch and lemon lime mixture. It's like Sprite and fruit punch put together. all the while just having a party in my mouth. It's delicious. How you been, Adrian?
Good. How about you?
I've been good, man. It's been a while since we've had you on the show.
Right? Yeah, I think you were what, like 5 episodes in before we got on the show?
Yeah, we the last time we had you on the show was when we
February, March.
the SummerSlam episode, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Right, when we covered SummerSlam. So with all this being said, I've got my drink ready and everything like that. Let's go ahead and introduce our guest here.
Yeah.
And get ready to have some fun, man.
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the guest for this week is
The cream of the crop. Yeah. The only leader keeping macho madness alive. Yeah.
our guest is a cosplayer, a comedian, an amazing tribute to the legend that is Macho Man Randy Savage. Before I bring him on, I've got a video to show everybody here. So let me turn this down real quick just to kind of give you guys a taste of this individual that we're coming on. Check it out.
George Washington wasn't just the president. Hey, who threw that?
I didn't throw nothing.
Hey, wake up. Put your phone away. I know just the thing.
Need a little excitement. No more boredom. Wake up. Wide awake now. Yeah. Stop throwing stuff. Get off your phone. Phones are stupid anyway. Now we're learning. I love school now. George Washington rule. Get savage.
Jesus Christ. Ladies and gentlemen, that video is good.
Yeah.
It's really good. Joining us all the way from an alternate reality, it's the man himself, the talented, the amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, let me actually, I got to put the mood music on. It is the amazing Machoverse.
Ooh, yeah, this is Adrian's cup of coffee in the big time. Yeah. Coffee in the big time. Yeah. Coffee, man. Yeah. Wow, man. Freak out. Gentlemen, good to see you. I just want to note, for that video you just showed, I was doing my best not to be Macho Man because I'm pretty sure it was against the rules for the Slim Jim contest. So that's why I'm just a shouty man teacher who happens to dress like Macho Man.
Take that.
Yeah, Macho Man, but not Macho Man. Thin line between being Macho Man and not being Macho Man. Yeah.
Look at this guy. Darren in the chat said, for a second, I thought it was him.
Oh, yeah. Like looking into a mirror, yeah.
Oh, man. How are you doing, Machoverse, man? How's I love
I saw that.
Your mustache is crooked, Okerlund. Your beard is crooked. Oh, okay. Maybe it is, yeah. Oh, it got me that time. Oh,
That's amazing. We just got
I earned myself a square on the podcast. Yeah. Lady, lucky person. Yeah.
Oh, I love it, man.
All is well, man. I'm keeping very busy lately. That's for sure. So thanks for having me on a night before a remote work day. So.
Right, man. We appreciate you making some time to come and hang out with us. I mean, for the most part, we were just like, okay, we need to find a way to get you on the show because I feel like it would be a lot of fun. God, he's got a
Slim Jim plug.
I got so many props. You might as well call me Gallagher. Yeah, the Gallagher of madness.
The Gallagher of madness. Yeah.
Nice.
This is a someone sent me this action figure holder, 3D print. You hit a button and it's just Macho Man quotes on demand. It's great.
Nice.
I was going left. Elizabeth was going right.
Oh, icing up the champagne. Yeah. Because I am the cream of the crop. Yeah, nobody does it better than the Macho. Yeah. I have 1,000 props. Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, afraid of Okerlund.
I love this so much.
Yeah.
All right, man. We kind of get into this. Before we get into the story of you and how you got into this whole thing, man. So we've got some questions that we ask on the show that are just like.
What's your question? Sorry, I'm just doing my Macho Man. Go on.
I should do a Mean Gene Okerlund this entire time, right?
Yeah.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Where?
Okay, so normally we ask if a movie was made based on your life, who would you want to play you? But I'm I'm gonna meta this a little bit. If a movie was made about Macho Man Randy Savage, who do you think would play Macho Man? Who would be a good actor to play Macho Man?
Right now, I'm thinking Brett Azar from Young Rock, who played the Sheik.
Oh,
Because last two times I saw him at 90s Wrestling Con, man. For a second, my brain thought that was actually Macho Man. He had the black leather hat on, basically what Macho Man wore for the whole Be a Man rap album. But like he wasn't trying to. That's just how this guy dresses.
so let me ask you this: so if there was a movie about Macho Man, would you want it to be a historically accurate, like a drama, or a comedy movie?
Well, my whole shtick is like a comedy version of the Macho Man, even though he's funny enough, you know. I'd say a mix of both. I don't want it to be like that. What special was it? Biography, where it was just total salacious, scandalous Macho Man, while everyone else had a really, positive, uplifting kind of like, evened out, leveled out story. So,
all right, cool.
Yeah, historically accurate. Yeah, he's not going to be wrestling Chris Jericho or anything. I mean, that would be cool. It's not going to be like the John Travolta Gotti movie where they're in the '70s and Pitbull music just starts playing. Yeah. What was that about?
Yeah.
That made no sense, and I know.
I enjoyed that movie. I had Movie Pass, and it was free, and I had low expectations, and I thought it was great. Eric is saying Ryan Reynolds can play.
I know. Actually, for the funny, if it was a comedy, I would say Ryan Reynolds.
I'm trying to think. Maybe Hugh Jackman. All the actors that I know are probably like older now.
So just throw it out there. Like I am like the biggest Ryan Reynolds fan. I do not feel like Ryan Reynolds is the right pick for Macho Man Randy Savage. Awful, at least.
But at the same time, do you think Hemsworth can play Hogan? Because that's what's happening too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Hulkster. I don't care who plays the Hulkster. More from Chris Elizabeth. Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting because like Hemsworth put on a shit ton of weight.
Yes, he did.
To be Hulk Hogan, and it's
yeah.
Can you put on like?
Oh, I know how to put on weight real good. I tell you, man.
But I mean, like, can you put on a steroid bulk the way that Hogan had the steroid bulk in the late 80s?
With modern technology, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because like Hulk Hogan was never ripped. He was always like big, but he was never like ripped.
Right. He wasn't like ripped abs Hogan. That's true.
Right. And it's like you're putting Hemsworth in there, and Hemsworth is fucking ripped. So it's like
he's ripped.
Yeah, you got to have the mass. Like I'm not supposed to talk about it, but I saw a screener of that movie, Iron Claw, and the actors there, they looked amazing. I think I'm allowed to say that at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a trip when you look at when you look at all of them and how much they bulked up to play those roles. Like, holy crap, they look massive.
Crazy. So I'll take Zac Efron as Macho Man.
Zac Efron's got the build. He put on for that.
Let's ask Hogan what he thinks about that. Hulkster, what do you think about Liam Neeson? Liam Hemsworth playing you in the movie? Well, you know something, bro. Oh, Hogan, you're backwards. Hulkster, he's getting old. Well, you know something, brother. The Hemsworth stir is gonna play the Hulkster, brother. He's a bit ripped for the Hulkster, but I'll take it as a compliment, brother. See, he's just he's gonna steal the Macho Man spot. I'm not even Macho Man. He comes out of nowhere. Hulk, he just won't leave. Hulk, we're gonna take a break from you.
So for that screener of Iron Claw, did you go as Machoverse?
No. I wore like a shirt that has all Macho Man's faces on it, just covered in Macho Man's face.
Oh, nice.
And a bandana. So I was just casual Macho Man. I had the orange bandana and I had that. I feel like when I go to these things now, I have to have some sort of essence of Macho Man. Some indie shows, I'll dress up and go all out. Sometimes I'll just have like, a New Japan tank top with like the glasses, the wig, and, I'll keep it casual. Yeah. Or just jeans and a t-shirt that he might have worn.
Yeah, that, like if you were just casually going. So, I mean, the next question here. So we have a segment on the show called Growing Up Geeky. Now, aside from obviously early WWF, like, I want to say WWE, but I mean, it's WWF. Aside from like, just like old school wrestling, what did you geek out on when you were a kid?
G.I. Joe's, creepy crawlers. I love making those creepy crawlers. Those things you could do nothing with. You couldn't eat them. Pretty toxic. But I was making those all the time.
Creepy crawlers, man.
Yeah, creepy crawlers, Legos. I was mostly good at stepping on them.
You see what I'm building here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Transformers were huge in my life. Ninja Turtles, actually, that was my favorite. Yeah, Ninja Turtles and X-Men were my top.
Turtles.
What do we got? Oh, nice, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, beat a turtle in the big time. Oh, spill a lose me, mean Gene.
This will fill two of your kid childhood things right here.
Yeah.
An Optimus
Optimus
Prime.
Prime.
Oh, that's awesome. I had a little cassette toy that would turn into a Transformer. I'm 39. I don't know how old you guys are, but
I'm 32.
oh, okay, all right. So you're a little bit younger than me, yeah. So
I'm 36. I'm 36, so I'm in the same.
okay, so you're getting there.
Yeah.
But the wrestling figures, oh my god! My friend was stealing them from the mall. He was stealing CDs, stealing wrestling figures. I'm like, yeah, steal me a Triple H, you know. I brought him to a summer camp for like a stop motion animation thing. I don't think I ever got them back. But now I have a hair up. It's a wig hair. Every time I go to a convention now, someone buys me a Macho Man action figure. I come back with one. My wife's like, stop buying stuff. I'm like, if it's Macho Man, I can do it. Yeah. I'm about to get a sunglass rack, man. I have so many people have like wrestling belts and Funkos. I got sunglasses and fanny packs, man. Just so many, especially sunglasses.
Nice.
It's like the same deal for me because like every show that I go to now, you know, like people just give me Deadpool memorabilia, so it's awesome.
Right, like that's your thing. Yeah. And then I'm always like at a convention, I'm like, what's the Macho Man discount? Yeah, and they're always like, well, actually, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, that works.
Oh, all right.
So you start doing that, yeah. What's the Deadpool discount?
Hey.
What's funny is I can do that in a Macho Man voice and it would still work.
Yeah.
Just with the mask, with the Deadpool mask on. What's the Macho Man discount?
Sometimes I forget that I'm not wearing the stuff. I was going camping like back in August, right? And we're about to leave. We're in Queens, you know, getting sandwiches. I'm outside the car. A guy walks by me with a Nasty Boy shirt, and I'm like, oh, yeah, Jerry Sags and Nasty Boys. Oh, go get nasty. Remember in WCW? And the guy just gives me this, like, death stare. And I'm like, what the hell is this problem? And I look, and I'm wearing, like, a Metallica shirt and, like, jean shorts and short hair. And I'm like, what the
I'm not Macho Man right now. Okay.
No. I'll be teaching high school, and I'm explaining stuff, and I'm doing, like, the point and, like, the finger things. And I'm like, yeah, in Buddhism, it started in Nepal. Yeah, it's more of a belief system than it is a religion. Yeah, and I'm, like, pointing and, like, shooting and doing all the finger things.
Do you ever make the voice in the classroom?
I have, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Not so much this year, but last year I was like, I'd leave the room. I'd say, I have a special guest coming in to talk to us, and I'd have my bandana and my sunglasses, so I'd like leave the room and be like, oh, he's here, and I'd knock and be like, oh yeah,
Nice,
I'm a priest. I'm here to talk about Martin Luther. Yeah, I'm here to talk about madness. They're just like, what? You know.
Nice.
There's always at least one kid in the class that's, I guess his parents are a wrestling fan, and I'm always like, credit, man, 100 points or 1,000 points.
You would be my favorite teacher, dude. If that was,
oh, is that right? Yeah.
If you were my teacher in high school, you would have been my favorite teacher.
Went to AEW last year, and I guess I was on House of Highlights, and I didn't know that was a big deal. And the next day, my second period class was like, "Mister, you're all over the internet," and I was like, "Oh, hope this is good." And you're on House of Highlights. I'm like, I don't know what that is. And I checked it out. I'm like, Jesus, I would have made this. Not Chris Brown per se, yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. So obviously cosplaying Machoverse, you must be a big time wrestling fan, right?
Yeah.
When did your love for wrestling start?
So I grew up in Poughkeepsie, both in Minnesota Civic Center, but I never got to go to Raw because I didn't ask my parents. But I watched it here and there. I remember I watched it, and I thought Nails was going to come to my house and kill me. I saw photos of what he did to the Big Boss Man in WWF magazine. He's got all these like welts and all these like black and blues, and I'm like, shit, man, I got to be careful. I got to play things cool. So I didn't really watch it hardcore until a sleepover party. I think it was WrestleMania 13 with Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold.
Yeah.
And yeah, I fell in love. Attitude Era. Was watching Raw. Moved on to WCW because I always loved Macho Man. And then I found ECW. And we had a backyard fed. We all want to be wrestlers. ECW is my favorite of all time. Like that was amazing, man. So got into it for a while. Trained for wrestling school for a few months at Johnny Rod's in Brooklyn. ECW got sold, so I kind of lost the love for it. Started college. Gave up on wrestling for a while. 2014, I got back into it at the Royal Rumble when Batista won. I downloaded a torrent of it, and then someone in the comments like, "Damn it, Batista won!" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna pretend that's not true. I'm pretend to be surprised." Yeah. That's some of the story. Yeah. I've been all in ever since.
Nice. Any? Do you have any like current favorite wrestlers that you watch right now, or
right now, WWE would have to be Nakamura.
Yes.
Kevin Owens. With AEW, I'm a huge fan, so that would be Malachi Black, Penta, Orange Cassidy, Swerve, Hangman Page, Omega. Like,
Oh yeah.
I love it. I'm
Hey,
getting
I
back
just
into
came
it.
here for green jackets and orange juice. Okay.
Yes. The chat's pretty lively. Wow. What kind of how do your students feel you Macho Man? The students don't care. They're city kids, man. They mostly don't care. When you walk in my room, there's a picture of me with Macho Man from '99 when I met him. In high school. Yeah.
That was one of the things I asked later. It was like, did you ever meet? You know,
Look for questions before you can ask. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah. So I did, and it was amazing. I mean, just to have that memory. He was checking into his hotel, so it wasn't like he elbow dropped me. It was like, I'm gonna give you the secret of life. Yeah. And I was like, hurry up this picture, basically. But yeah.
Did you get anything signed?
Yes, I did actually. I had the red Wolfpack shirt at the time, so we were going to see WCW Nitro. It was April 4th, 1999. It doesn't matter. At the MGM Grand. So we were there when they were checking into the hotel and hanging out in the lobby and all that stuff the night before, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah, Macho Man flew in. He was the front desk. I had him sign my Wolfpack shirt.
Oh.
And so on the back is just Macho Man. On the front is like Buff Bagwell, Scott Norton, Disco Inferno for some reason. Some guy with Disco Inferno named Vegas Nick, like some Italian guy that was like, yeah, see, every impression I do now is Macho Man. I'm at work. I'm like,
it just comes out, right? It just comes out.
I'm going to observe you next week. Yeah. So I got Macho Man to sign that, and I held onto that shirt for so long. It was my parents' house, my old room for years and years. I dug it up a couple months ago, and then I'm thinking, now what? Do I get it signed by the rest of the Wolfpack, or do I keep it Macho Man? I debated this for like 2 months, man. Went to 90s Con, got it signed by Nash.
Nice.
Got it signed by Luger. Yeah, and then at Comic Con, I got it signed by Sting.
Ooh.
We got one left. Who are we missing?
Hogan? Oh, no, wait.
What'd you say?
I said Hogan.
Oh, I better watch it. What did you say?
Scott Hall?
Scott Hall.
Scott Hall's in the Wolfpack for like 30 seconds, right? It doesn't count.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, that was right before the finger poke of doom. He walked to the ring as Nash, like mystery, like manager or whatever. The only one missing is K-Dog. Olale.
That was gonna be my next thing. I was gonna say.
Drink too many. Yeah. So that's my goal now. I got to find K-Dog and get that signed. So now I've made a video with each of them, except for Macho Man, obviously, of me getting it signed. So it's like a new goal. So I wasn't like really doing autograph sessions with wrestlers or photo ops until like recently. And now I'm like, I want to meet like the Macho Man rivals basically and get this shit signed.
Does he do appearances?
Yes, he does. Sorry.
No.
You're talking about Conan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does appearances. I met him over here in a local toy store here, Barrio Toys, in Roseville, California. Yeah, he's pretty cool.
I did. Oh, that's right. He did do Barrio Toys just recently.
Yeah, he's mostly out west from what I hear, like Mexico, Texas, California. He's at WrestleCade, but it's not close to me. I'm hoping I can get him like WrestleMania weekend in Philly.
Oh yeah, but he's cool. He's pretty cool.
That's what I've heard. Yeah. I was like watching him. And then I have to put that shirt in like a safe.
Yes,
I'm gonna hang it up. Yeah, but yeah, that's definitely a relic.
Especially if you're getting the entire Wolfpack to sign it. That's a big deal.
Yeah, that is a big deal. Who cares about the front? And Buff Bagwell was cool too, but the back had Macho Man. So I had it hanging up for a while, and I'm like, I'm gonna do it. People are like, don't do it. You should do it. And I'm like, what do I want to do? And then eventually I made it happen.
Awesome, man. So I gotta ask you this: what inspired you to start cosplaying, man? Like, what was like the start of I'm gonna cosplay, but not just as anybody. I'm gonna cosplay as Macho.
Sure. Well, in general, I've always been a huge fan of Halloween, and one day a year was not enough. And then whenever it's on a Saturday in New York, it rains or it snows, and sometimes you just miss Halloween completely. So I was Macho Man for Halloween when I was in college. It was a Halloween party, and I painted on my beard. I went to Salvation Army. I like stapled streamers to like a suit jacket. It was like decent. Years later, 2019, I went to Burning Man. My wife, she's a costume designer. She made me a Macho Man-esque costume that had a giant gold cape or a rope. It said Macho Man on the back, so I did that there. Fast forward, I moved to New York City, and one day I'm just thinking it would be funny to dress up as something called Macho Man, where it's all green, He's got a green tee pattern, and I had my friend design the Macho Man sunglasses shirt, but instead of pointing, he's holding a cup of tea.
Nice.
So we did that, went to the Halloween parade in New York City. This is 2 years ago. And the reaction was amazing. I couldn't do the impression. My voice was gone. The next day I had to hold up signs in my class to my students. And it was during COVID. So I had one sign that was like, pull your mask over your nose. Like, good answer. Like, next question. So I did the Halloween party, the Halloween parade. That was fun. Then later on, I went to an AEW show in Belmont, Long Island. It was the first Long Island show. I dressed up as Macho Man. I had a green wig at the time. I hated it. My wife thought it looked cool. I went with the gimmick. So I ran into Mike Ramundi, who dresses up like Dusty Rhodes for years now.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is so cool. And I talked to him for a minute. I'm like, do you do this all the time? He's like, yeah, I'm starting to. I do it at most events. So I got his Instagram. Saw him at a couple more events. We linked up. So I dressed up for another show. Dressed up for an Impact show and had front row in Poughkeepsie. A friend of a friend spotted me and said, we want to film a parody of Moon Knight on Disney, with the guy who turns into this superhero. And he goes, instead of Moon Knight, we want to do Macho Knight. Would your friend be interested? And I was like, sure. I went to Poughkeepsie. I shot it. So I was Macho Man for like the first time now. The footage came out great. The pictures were awesome. And I was like, oh my God, the pictures were so sick. To my wife, I was like, I kind of want to, do some of this cosplay stuff. Brooklyn Comic Con is coming up in a month. So we put together the Madness costume, from WCW with the black and white.
Yeah.
And it was a huge hit at Comic-Con. And I started going to more wrestling shows as Macho Man now. And went to a couple of cosplay events. She designed the NWO with the lightning bolts next. And from there, just started going to more and more stuff. Started collaborating with people, making videos, and did Subway Mania with Tim Rivera, and that was a big deal for me last February. We got invited to an indie show where we did a Subway Mania halftime thing where Macho Man got jumped by the rest of the NWO. So it's quite a ride, man. Always trying to work on the impression. It's come a long way. The voice isn't all there, but all this stuff, what I'm doing, I'm standing there.
It's like doing the cadence, and it's not just doing the cadence itself.
Yeah.
It's like, there's this thing about Macho Man where he's like kind of like slow and he over enunciates a lot of things.
See, I'm trying to do that because I'm the fast Macho Man. I'm with the, one freaking out. It's between that. And I add an essence of Tommy Boy and like comedic, like funny, silly guy innocence with my stuff as well to add more comedy, like a good-hearted, like fun-loving Macho Man. We're like, oh, I didn't know that. Okay, yeah. Where I'm not like ready to kick someone's ass. I'm like, oh, yeah, is that right? So I add that much.
You gotta just like make fun of somebody on cocaine, and
basically, yeah. So I say that I'm like cocaine hyped up Macho Man, and I run into another Macho Man for the Poconos. This guy named Keith. He doesn't have Instagram, but he just did a Danhausen Macho Man. I met him 3 or 4 times, and he's really good, man. I asked him if he was wearing a mask. His face is shaped like Macho Man, and him, right? He does like a slow. Chill Macho Man, where when I have a video with him, I got to increase the volume all the way up. But he's like, oh yeah, you got to get close to hear this guy. But boy, is he good. So I always admire meeting other Macho Men. It's always awesome to see. I started a group chat on Instagram where there's probably 13 of us. And it's like most of the Macho Man cosplayers on Instagram are in this group.
Do you guys ever like link up and try to do like content together?
We haven't yet. Only the guy that I ran into a few times. So we met up at 80s Con, and then at 90s Wrestling Con we met up again. So yeah, Macho Man meets Tommy Boy. Yeah, that's what I go for, man. If you watch the hitchhiking videos with me and Dusty and my friend that plays the Sheik, it's like Tommy Boy. We're hitchhiking. I'm like singing songs while Dusty's driving. Yeah, it's so much fun because I've acted, I've done improv, but it was never very good. And I couldn't find my niche. But being Macho Man, I can be all over the place and not just improvise. It's great. Hope I answered that question. It was a long-winded response.
No.
Diatribe, yeah.
You guys, I don't know if you remember that when the Joshes had that brawl to determine the true Josh. Do you guys want to do that whole brawl thing? All the Macho Man guys.
Oh, yeah, is that right?
Just get in the ring and elimination style.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, I like Brandon Savage from Dark Side of the Ring told me, he's like, man, the more madness, the merrier. There's plenty of madness to go around. So. People are like, what happens when you see another Macho Man at a show? Is it weird? I'm like, I love it. I embrace it, man. I've seen quite a few. I met one at Grand Slam, and unfortunately he had too many drinks, and he he got kicked out and got beat up by security. It's a whole thing, man. But I'm like the macho man, like the guidance guy, because I was talking to him for several days after, man. He's texting me and I'm like, I feel better. He's having knee surgery, all this stuff. So it's crazy. Like people start tagging me in macho man stuff that I'm not even in. So I'm like, cool, I'm honored. You know, it's like a classic clip of Randy Savage. So it's wild, man. I'm just a teacher. I'm just a guy playing dress up and practicing and working hard doing it.
But I mean, that's the majority of us. Like the majority of us that are in cosplay and things like that, we're all just like if there's anybody in the world that has high levels of imposter syndrome, it's cosplayers that become famous.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
There are a few. Some are like unapproachable too. There's a guy that looks just like Tony Stark, and there's a Benedict Cumberbatch guy that I saw at a Comic-Con after party like a couple weekends ago, and I was like, Jesus Christ, looks just like him. Yeah, it's wild. But somebody told me that just remember, we're just adults playing dress up.
Yeah.
When people are like, Macho Man wouldn't do that, I'm like, I'm not Macho Man.
Yeah.
This is a parody. Someone's like, if Sandman ashed in Macho Man's coffee, he'd jump across the table. I'm like, yeah, maybe he would, but this is a parody and it's comedy. It's like watching a movie and saying, why is that guy doing that thing? It's like it's a movie, like it's not.
Yeah.
It's like straight up. I'm
right.
I'm an actor. Like I'm not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I try to, I try to be authentic though, and I try to be respectful to Macho Man always and all his rivals. So when I go to a signing or something, I'm trying to be respectful. Sometimes it goes to my head. Like I almost sat in Jake the Snake's chair when he was up at Comic-Con when he was like at the bathroom. Glad I didn't do that because his wife or whoever was like, no, that's not a good idea. And I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, that is not a good idea. Yeah. And I'm like, I'll wait for him. I'll be creepy. I'll be least expected. Yeah. But I was like, I'm gonna sit in his chair. I'll be waiting for him here. And I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, I shouldn't do that. So I get really into character sometimes. Yeah. And with that, I can get away with saying to someone like, oh, look at this guy looking like Ric Flair. And it's just like an old man. Yeah. Or I'm at a wrestling show and someone's standing up and I'm like, hey, sit down. We can't see you. Yeah. And they'll turn around and be like, sorry, Macho Man. They'll sit down. But if I'm just me going like, hey, man, can you please sit down? I'll be like, what? See, my impression is always Macho Man.
Yeah. Yeah, especially that voice too. It's iconic. Everybody has to, know that voice.
Yeah, and at Comic-Con, I did it for 4 days straight and 2 after parties. So
how was it? How was it after?
It was hard, man. I was trying to save a little bit I had left when I met Jake the Snake.
I assume your throat was probably just wrecked because after you do that, I know, like just as a voice actor, when you start doing voices that are like in that register when it's not normally your register, like your throat gets wrecked after a while.
It's more of I lose my voice because I just try to change up the tempo quite a bit, but I lose my voice. And at the beginning, when I first shot the Moon Knight sketch I was talking about, there's a scene in it where I'm Mark or whatever from Moon Knight, and I'm turning into Macho Man. I'm tensing my neck so much. And I was doing that as my original impression. I was just straightening my neck and flexing it. And for about 2 months, I had these neck spasms, and it was really scaring me. I was like, what do I have? And it's still I creak my neck a little bit, but oh boy, Macho Man impressions can really, if you do it, if in the wrong hands and done it wrong, can really have side effects. Yeah.
Especially because like you're basically trying to flex the entire time while you're your little hands. Yes. It's like, oh yeah, see, we're going over there.
Right. And if I'm wearing, do I do videos for promotion? Yeah, man, absolutely. I'm opening up business here on the film. Oh yeah. I used to be like that, hiding people as an artist. Yeah, and hiding people as an artist, I get what you're saying over there. Let's Create, because with the sunglasses, it's much easier to do this. I don't gotta look anybody in the eye. I can look through them. Like sometimes I take the glasses off for certain costumes, and it's not the same. But this is like them in costume. Like I don't care. I'm just I got the confidence. I'm just like I'm doing Macho Man. Here we are, and I think I'm doing it well by now. I'm trying my best at least, and downloading old promos and listening to them on the subway.
Nice.
I 100% get that because again, I cosplay as Deadpool. So whenever I'm as Deadpool, I've been mistaken for Ryan Reynolds more than once.
Wow.
And it's like, one, I've got a dad bod. I'm not that hot.
Right.
But it's mostly because I get the cadence down, and when I'm doing his voice, is like I'll kind of like raise the register a little bit and just like, well, I like honestly, I don't know what's going on right now. See, everything that's happening right now is just kind of fucking. You look a lot like fucking Macho Man. I'm not.
Doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Yeah, he sounded like Deadpool from I thought he was. Yeah. Yeah. I thought he was gonna chop my arm off him on roll back. Yeah. I don't even know. Yeah. See, that tone I can do all day. But once I'm at an event and I got to shout and I got to get my voice onto my camera, that's when it's like, all right, man, I'm expiring soon. Like I could talk to people on the phone like 1-900 Madness. Oh yeah, is that right? Is that right? Yeah. Huh.
I had somebody at LA Comic-Con specifically ask me to call his friend as Deadpool and tell him that he sucked.
Amazing. Yeah, I've done that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, call my dad, man, and be Macho Man. What is happening? Are you I thought you were cutting up a giant mushroom. You're building something with Lego.
I am building Hogwarts Castle right now.
Oh, nice. I just went up to Harry Potter and Broadway for a field trip the day after the Halloween parade, so it was
nice.
For staying up late. Yeah, great show. Amazing special effects, no spoilers.
Was it the Cursed Child?
The who?
Harry Potter and the Cursed Child?
Yes, the Cursed Child. I think it was like the Cursed Child, and I'm like, what is that, like Ukrainian? Oh, yeah, he's talking other languages. Yeah, it was the Cursed Child. The special effects absolutely insane. So cool. Are there any other cosplays you do, or just Macho Man? I do Macho Man mashup. Sorry, now I'm flipping on you. I'm interviewing myself from the comments. Yeah. You guys better watch out. Your days are numbered.
Oh, good. No, actually, James is one of our co-hosts, and he's just not on the show. So.
Oh, no doubt. What's up, James? I've done Hopper, but that was a Halloween thing. I looked at the time. I do Macho Man mashups. So I have the Macho Dude, Randy Lebowski, Macho Juice, which is Beetlejuice.
I saw the Macho Juice. Nice. You posted a bunch of stuff as Macho Juice.
Yeah, that's just epic.
It was good. It was really good, man.
My wife worked hard. It took her a year to make that. Macho Man and Macho Hook, which is Captain Hook.
Oh, nice.
Epic one too. Yeah, we're waiting for like a SpongeBob rave to wear that again. But I want to do Jake the Snake because I can get the mustache like him. So I was thinking maybe the last day of Comic-Con next year. We'll see. It's a shave, man. It takes a while to grow this.
Right. No, actually, speaking of Jake the Snake, right? So what has the reception been like meeting the greats of wrestling while in the Machoverse cosplay? I mean, specifically, we're bringing up like the snake around your arm when meeting Jake the Snake. Like, that was great.
He was really cool. I've heard mixed reviews. I thought he was awesome. When I met Jake, I had my wife design the costume that Macho Man wore when he got bit by the cobra. Oh. So, because it looked awesome, right? She made that 2 weeks before Comic-Con. I hear Jake the Snake's actually going to be there. So I'm like, whoa. And then I'm like, he's going to be there this day, that day. So I had to change up my whole lineup. No big deal. But I'm like, damn, if I'm waiting till Sunday, man, I got to keep a little bit of voice left. So I filmed a video of me walking around looking for Jake. And it's funny because it was super crowded inside the convention. So to get through people, I'd be like, get out of my way. I got a medical emergency. Yeah, let's go. I need a doctor. And they'd be like, oh, shit. They'd move. And they'd see me grab my arm. And there'd be like a stuffed animal snake around it. Like, yeah, are you a medic? I need anybody an animal expert. Yeah, it was great. So I was getting through the crowd. I got to meet Buff Bagwell. And I was like, yeah, I'm looking for the guy that ruined my wedding. Where's Jake? And he was super friendly. I didn't have to pay him any money. He was like, oh, Randy. And he started doing the voice. It's contagious.
Yeah,
he started doing the voice. He's like, yeah, I think he's over there. And I'm like, okay, cool. Steiner, I met a couple weeks before. Super serious guy. Nothing but respect. I'm not going to bash him. I'm afraid to. He was cool. You know, if you ask him a question, he answers. He was fine. Listen to his earbuds. And I was like, what's up, Papa Pump? And he's like, what's up, buddy? So that was all right. I saw Lex Luger at 90s Con. I saw him at Comic-Con again. I was joking with him. He was cool too. People are like, oh, he seems so miserable. No, he's just tired. It's the fourth day to be there. I was like, yeah, I've seen Lex so many times. They're going to be roommates and getting bunk beds. And he goes, yeah. So he was cool. Then I got to meet Jake the Snake. So Jake wasn't there. He was like up at the bathroom or something, right? So I'm like, I'm going to sit in his chair. I'm going to wait for him. And his wife's like, it's not a good idea. And I was like, you know what? I'll wait. So when he showed up, I looked at him and I said, I had a friend recording. I said, you're the guy that ruined my wedding. And he goes, I did you a favor. And then I go, I need the snake off my arm. What do I do? What's the anecdote? Don't you remember? And he pauses and he goes, semen. And I'm like, ooh. I'm like thinking to myself, I have a clean web page. None of that. And I'm like, oh, Seamus. Yeah, I'll look for him. And then, I had to pay for the autograph. And then I sat there and posed with him. And he was cool. I feel like he was sick of me by then. But he was super cool. He laughed. He liked the costume. I was holding the snake. He's like holding my arm. So meeting him was epic, man. Been a huge fan, especially since his whole comeback with DDP and everything.
Right. That's
Um,
pretty funny. His response was semen.
yeah. Wow, I did not. He caught me off guard. Got to meet Ric Flair later in that day, like an hour later.
Oh wow.
Yeah, shout out to Fitterman Sports. They put it together, man. It was a free photo op, free autograph signing. So we got to go to the front of the line, myself and my friend Frank, who was Kurt Angle, Eclectic Collections, and we're standing there waiting for.
My wife's
Ric
the
Flair.
most hated person in the world. My wife hates Kurt Angle.
Really?
Really?
She fucking loathes Kurt Angle.
So Flair walks through past us to the booth, and he goes, "Hey, Mach," and he's like smiling, laughing, and he was totally popping for it. And I went up there and I was like, "Yeah, Macho Juice, good to meet you, Flair. Good to see you finally. I'll forgive you after WrestleMania." And he's just laughing and stuff. So that was cool. Yeah, man, it's unreal, and it's the past like 6 months that I've met all these people, so it's crazy. I got to meet Nash at 90s Con. I think he was super tired. At the time, I was like, man, this guy hates me. But I watched the video. I didn't post it yet. He's just laughing and smiling the whole time. So he got a kick out of it. You know, it was early in the morning. So DDP was awesome. My friend Mike, who does Dusty Rhodes, him and I met him at WrestleBash. And he's like, we got to do a video together. Let's go. We filmed a couple of videos with him. Super cool. He put us in the Diamond Cutter. How much research did you do for the Machoverse? A lot, because when I started at Brooklyn Comic Con, man, I knew the cookie cutter Macho Man phrases. You know, I was a huge fan, but I was also a poser. Like I wasn't like, you know, I didn't know all the real material. So since then, I've done so much research, man. I watch videos and I see what he's doing with his hands, shoulders, and every time I go out and do something, I'll have something new to remember. So I'm like, this time, make sure I turn my back to the camera and spin around, and I'm going to speak from my diaphragm. There's always like a new quote I got to remember. So I go on TikTok, and there's a really good page with all Macho Man promos. And I'm just writing down on my computer and my phone notes, like little quips and quotes that you don't hear much, like bad to the bone with a heart of stone. Yeah. So like every time I cut a promo, I always try to do something obscure because everyone knows, oh yeah, dig it, Tower of Power. Yeah, too sweet to be somewhere funky like a movie space of the place. So yeah, a lot of research, a lot of work. But it's fun.
Right.
Yeah, and then I'll go through my notes before I go to an event. And after a while, it's second nature, and I have a whole dictionary in my mind, encyclopedia of different Macho Man things. I'm a soundboard. I'm just like, beep, 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 beep.
Do you ever try to cosplay as Bonesaw?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to talk about any future costumes. My wife worked so hard and was so exhausted for it. But to be honest, yes, Bonesaw. That's the only other one I want to do in the near future for Comic-Con next year. With my spring over here. Yeah, Bonesaw is ready because there's so many Spider-Man. And every time I see Spider-Man at Comic-Con, I'm like, I forgive you. Yo, I met you for 3 minutes. Yeah, you're going nowhere. Yeah.
And you should tell him, hey, you didn't pin me in 3 minutes. I got knocked out. You didn't pin me.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you got knocked out.
3 minutes of pleasure.
3 minutes of playtime. Yeah. What's going on in this chat? Anything new? Wow, so much. You guys got a great podcast. Look at that. Look at all those comments. Oh my gosh. Someone said, do I do kids' birthday parties? I would. The money's right.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
I was actually gonna say,
hold on. You should be in adult parties. You know,
yeah, that's my goal, man. I'd love to do that, but I want to make sure, you know, everything is set with family and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but once I get that in order, I'm open for business. Then, you know, be at the next party.
I was gonna mention. So a while back, this is probably like probably around last year, we met JBL, and so I'm again, I cosplay as Deadpool, so I'm walking around, and when I walk around the show, I tend to do like I say like weird things that Deadpool would say, and my brain is usually like, mercenary for hire. Does anybody need the skills of a good mercenary? I work for 2 tacos and a pancake. That's it, right? And just things like that. And so we're walking by GPL, and I look over and I was like, mercenary for hire. If you don't need a mercenary, you can always hire the APA. And he puts his feet up and looks over at me and he goes, the APA is always for hire.
That's awesome. See, that's what's fun about doing the cosplay. When you get in the character, man, it makes it so much more fun. It's like go to a Halloween party and be in that character. That's what I always did. That I was always the character I was playing. I was like John McCain in 2008, and I was like, I'd stop in the subway and be like, my friends, and I'd give a speech before I walk away. That's what's most fun about it. Some wrestlers are not as excited, unfortunately. I saw Billy Gunn at I'm not bashing anybody, by the way, at Wrestle Bash, and I was seeing him the night before, and I'm like, what am I going to say when I see all these guys? I have to have like a thing. So he was like behind his booth, like bending down, picking some out of his bag, and I'm like, oh yeah, he loves to stick him, loves to look at me. He's an ass man. Oh yeah, Billy, I got 2 words for you. Oh yeah, and he just looks at me and just stares. I get it, man. It's a hustle. It's a business. Some guys, pay me if you want to interact. I dig it. But it's cool when they're down to just, shoot the breeze, like Jay Lethal. We must have spent 10 minutes standing there going, oh, is that right? Yeah, you don't say, is that right? Me, him, and the other Macho Man, Keith. And people are like, what is going on? We're filming a video just messing around. And all of a sudden, Earl Hebner walks through and goes, this is the biggest pile of bullshit I've ever seen in my life. And we're like, what? And I said, I'll put you in the sharpshooter. Yeah, I'll ring the bell on you. And it's unreal to film with some of my favorite, falling down. Some of my favorite wrestlers and stuff. It's just a dream come true. We saw Eric Bischoff, and he's like, guys, come on. And he's like, man, you got it down, brother. And I'm like, damn.
Nice.
My homework's paying off.
Hell yeah. Like, how does it feel like when some of these people that I actually work with Macho Man that say, hey, man, you're doing a fantastic job.
That is the highest compliment. Nice. Fred Ottman, Tugboat has said that. DDP, Eric Bischoff, man, Jay Lethal. I was like, Lethal, how do I do a better impression? He's like, yours is pretty good, man. And I'm like, really? Macho Man's limo driver, here from on Instagram. This guy Damien. I've heard from Miss Elizabeth's younger cousin Brandon. Mm-hmm. So people that were his rivals, them smiling, laughing, like meeting Ric Flair and Jake the Snake, and it's unbelievable, man. It's a dream come true. Lex Luger was totally cool when I met him.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm truly jealous of you some of these people that you've met. It's a big deal, man.
I'm jealous, and I'm the guy. Yeah, I can't believe it.
Jay Lethal is like the original Macho Man cosplayer, man.
He's so good. And I try to, in every Macho Man I meet, I try to like take something that they do and kind of not like steal it, but like pay tribute.
You improve yours,
right? Exactly. I try to improve my craft by learning from them. So when I met Keith, the Macho Man, the big one who talks lower voice and the slower, I try to slow my movements down. When I met Jay Lethal, he says this a lot. Oh, is that right? Yeah, is that right? And I can't stop saying that. Even now as Macho Man, I'm like, is that right? Even when I talk now, because his story was that someone gave him Macho Man's number years ago. And he talked to him a few times on the phone, and he didn't think it was actually Macho Man. He thought it was a joke. And he'd be talking to him, he'd be like, oh, is that right? Yeah, is that right? So later on, he found out that it actually was Macho Man. It was like years later. So I've been using that since. And it's a good filler, and like it just works for everything. Someone makes a hateful comment, and I'm like, yeah, is that right?
Oh man, that is great. It's almost like the career that you have is like a dream, and for you, it's a dream. I'm sure,
it is, man, because I wanted to be a wrestler, I wanted to be an actor, I wanted to be a comedian, and now I'm kind of mixing them together.
Nice,
it's amazing.
So you say you're a comedian. Have you ever done like stand up or an open mics or something?
I've done open mics, but just mostly sketch comedy and improv. So I did sketch, and now like as soon as I started writing sketches or skits, as people call them, for this stuff, my page got really popular. I'm like writing scripts, and I'm like the different camera shots and everything. I used to just go to events and just improvise. And if I happen to get a video that someone took, cool, I post it. But now I'm like organized, and I got like a list of different ideas, and it's cool to use my creativity.
Yeah, nice.
It's kind of like the same thing, because again, like I do the Deadpool thing, and I like lately have been getting more people who've been wanting me to be a part of projects and stuff, and it's like it's great. It's a great feeling. So going back into this, not to give any of your secrets or anything like that, but where does one find wrestling tights or
I
wrestling shirts?
The best advice I can give you is to marry a costume designer. Because that's what I did. Yeah. Every time I went on a date, I said, "Are you a costume designer?" I said, "No, next." No, my lovely wife on our first date, she said, our second day, if this works out, I'll make your own wrestling gear. And I thought, nice. That's funny. And I thought, I don't even know how to narrow it down on what I'd want. And so I'm married to a costume designer. I counted, and I have about 20 costumes, maybe 21 with this one. Variations, I probably got 24 with different T-shirts. She costume designed for some really big productions in Vegas, Cirque du Soleil. And, she doesn't like doing it, but she's really good at it, and I pay her very well. So that's where I get most of my stuff. My wife, but shout out to Chris Beline, CB Creations for Design, the Instagram. He makes a lot of my accessories, like custom sunglasses, not these, but the shark sunglasses, the lightning sunglasses, the bandanas he hand paints, t-shirts, the belts. So combination between both. But the tights are my wife. And which is an amazing job. Some of the shirts are sewn together. She's just it's phenomenal, man. I'm always surprised, and I shouldn't be. The jackets. So yeah, it's all custom, except for like, this shirt. There's a few things that aren't, but I've actually had a friend of mine redesign shirts. So I found a screenshot of someone selling the shirt that he wore against Jake the Snake when he got bit. And my friend Adam Skura, he actually recreated that design. A few, the one where Macho's behind the bars, recreated that as well.
Yeah.
So I was able to get that screen printed. I also have Italian World Order shirts I'm eventually going to sell. It looks like the Latino World Order, but it just has Italian.
Yeah, no, I need them to make a Central American version of Latino World Order. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to get the Puerto Rican one. But I mean,
yeah, I know my wife has the Chilean one, so.
Oh, they made one for the UK, right?
Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch. Well, I mean, I have the Italian one, so what are you gonna do?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That's really cool.
I just need one that's got the blue and white stripes, because that can represent like 4 different countries in Central America. So
That is true.
I dig that. All right, for sure. So yeah, and let's see what else we got on the chat. Anything good here? A big old wrestling mark. Oh yeah. Did you see the episode of Ric Flair? It was so cringy. What episode with Ric Flair?
I think he's talking about
Tony
Tony.
Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What was that about?
Well, I guess they didn't tell him how the show worked. So after the people who do the open mic, they get interviewed after, and then they were just roasting them. And then Ric Flair just got on the mic. He's like, "I'm not gonna stand here for this. People waste their time to come here, and you guys are just gonna talk bad about him." And he left. But to be honest, he was drunk out of his mind.
Wait, they were roasting Ric Flair or Tony?
No, they were roasting like the people that were doing the open mic.
Oh, so you
And
felt
Ric Flair
bad
was
for
just
that.
like, these guys took time out of their life to come here to entertain this audience, and you guys are roasting them.
Wow.
It was just
Heart was in the right place, I guess.
yeah, it was cringy. And to be fair, he was drunk out of his mind. He didn't know where he was at. He came in stumbling.
Someone said I'd buy a Machoverse shirt. Oh, thank you. Eventually, I'll do it. I'm working on getting it trademarked, and also I want to respect the family, so I want to make sure I can figure that out first. That's why I'm not like, hey, buy, hire me, because I'm waiting to get that all settled.
because you feel like you're capitalizing on Macho.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't want to go do that without permission and whatnot. So that's the next step.
Nice.
When do we get to the robes? I have a gold robe my wife made. I have that was one for Burning Man. It's a huge one. I wore it for Comic-Con last year. I have the silver one that WWE sells. My wife put a lining in it, so it's heavier. I wore that for the entrance at Subway Mania, which was an amazing story on its own.
Oh,
And
man.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Macho King. Yeah, Macho King has a long, thank you, a long like Egyptian type robe that's like gold and black.
Was that your wife in the background?
Yes, she's the expert at home right here. And we were lucky enough to have Michael Braun call us a couple of weeks ago on the phone. And if you don't know who he is, he's actually Macho Man's original designer, who designed most, if not all of Macho Man's amazing like costumes with the fringes, the cowboy hats. Okay.
Oh my God, that is amazing, man.
Yeah. So it was a pleasure to hear from him and get the the endorsement basically. So to hear from people and have them enjoy it and be like, yeah, you're doing a great job. It's amazing. It's hard to believe.
It's like, when do you know you made it? When Macho Man's original costume designer starts calling you?
Yeah, that's the closest thing to him right now. Because I was going to meet Lanny Poffo last February, and the day he passed away, the day before the meet and greet, I was like devastated that he passed in the first place. But like, yeah. So,
That's awesome, man. So I'm gonna ask you a quick question before we start getting into some wrap up questions here. So I obviously, I've said it a couple times, I cosplay as Deadpool. So whenever I meet a Wolverine or a Spider-Man, I immediately play into that dynamic of those comic book characters, right? So do you feel Macho Man's rage whenever you see a Hogan cosplayer?
I always talk trash to them, always. It's always the same Hogan that I run into all the time. But I'm always like, oh yeah, Hulkster. Sometimes I'll be nice, sometimes I'll be mean, but we usually end up doing the Mega Power Shake.
Yeah.
But most of my videos are me looking for Hogan. It's rare that I run into one. If I go to Dragon Con this year, there's a really good Hogan named Trevor FX. He's out in California, I think. So I'm still like, because I know Harlem Hogan, Tim Rivera from Subway Mania. So we're looking to eventually have a match on the subway. So that'll eventually happen.
That is a video I need to be tagged in. I want to see that for sure.
Yeah, we've been building it up for a long time. We had a whole run. I got beat up by him in the NWO in the ring at an indie show, and then in Subway Mania, we shook hands real quick, and then Hogan turned on me and threw me out the subway stop and eliminated me. So after we beat up Kevin Nash together,
Nice.
That would be amazing to see, because just doing that in front of like an entire audience that doesn't know what's going on, and people who are not wrestling fans, you see Macho Man and Hogan fighting on the subway. They're like,
yeah, seriously,
right
just to be in the Subway Royal Rumble was insane as it is, man.
Nice.
And when we got to do a segment at a rock show, Big Trash for Kevin Kenny, who's an MTV rock VJ. They still have music videos. And it was me, Dusty, and Sheik against the Bloodline. And Honey Fish was cheering me on to do an elbow drop at the end. And they're like, do an axe handle. I'm like, no. And I jumped up as high as I could. And boom, elbow drop on Roman. 1, 2, 3, I get up. And my elbow was bleeding.
Damn.
And I bled on Dusty's boot. It's still there. I bled on the guitarist's girlfriend's shoe. And I bled on the MC's Britney Spears t-shirt. So I looked, and I'm like, I don't know how I cut my elbow. That was a plastic belt. And I look in slow motion. My elbow hit the concrete.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was a night in the ER as Macho Man.
But did anybody in the ER say anything?
Oh yeah, yeah. See, I can't help but talk like that. Yeah, they were taking pictures of me. The nurses.
Did they say you shouldn't have tried this at home?
Right. Don't damn near broke my neck. Beat the crap out of this jabroni. Yeah. Chris Diaz is my Iron Sheik friend right now in the chat.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, they were having me go through security, and I'm like, I don't have any pockets, man. This is spandex. They're taking my temperature as Macho Man. I'm in the full gear too. So the nurse is like, come here, and has the doctor look at the belt. And then the doctor's looking at me and saying, what about this tape on your hands? Are you okay? What happened with your hands? I'm like, no, that's part of the costume. I tape my hands up like Macho Man. I'm getting stitches, and I'm like, unjustifiably in a position I'd rather not be in. I have a video of me walking around CVS, and my elbow is like bleeding, not dripping, but I'm covering it up. And I don't know if I can post it to Instagram because there's blood, but it's amazing. My friend's filming the entire time, and I'm looking, trying to get the right Band-Aids and alcohol, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't pay attention to first aid. Walking to ER, and people are like, Macho Man, and I'm like, no, not right now. Someone's like, photo of me, and I'm like, dude, I'm bleeding. I gotta go. Hurry up with the camera. And I'm like, no, cat calling me from cars. Happens all the time. I had a cop, I was walking by a cop, and he gets a loudspeaker, and it's like, Macho Man, ooh, yeah, cream of the crop. And I'm like, man, I wish I had someone filming this. And I'm doing this. Yeah.
Those are so awesome, man. Just like the experiences that you've had just sounds so awesome.
And it's all in the last year, most of it. It's wild, man.
This is so good, man. Okay, so let's move on into these wrap up questions we have here before we get into the event of this weekend. So I'm gonna ask you the hardest question you've ever been asked in your life. Are you ready for this?
Oh yeah, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. What is your favorite kind of taco?
Oh, that's a good question. Happy fish, something with fish. Fun fact: I do not eat Slim Jims. I don't eat meat. I'm vegetarian, and sometimes I eat fish. So for the Slim Jim video, I bit into it, but that was all I did.
Bit in it.
Yeah. So some sort of like battered fish taco would be awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh.
All right.
Like a falafel taco, something like that, or seitan.
There you go. No, that works. That works. What's some advice you might have for anybody trying to get into cosplaying, or just kind of like into this? Like, say they wanted to get into like classic wrestling cosplay or something like that. How what's some advice you give them?
Marry a costume designer. Oh no, but seriously, study, learn all the mannerisms, learn how to talk. It's more fun to do it in character. If you can do that, go for it. Always be learning, branch out to others, make friends in the cosplay community. All these guys in my videos, we've been friends for like a year. You know, we just started hanging out, getting each other's numbers. Yeah, just doing your best, having fun. Just have fun with it, man. Have fun, get into character, enjoy yourself, and make friends, and just you know, get immersed in it, get in the zone, get into the danger zone. You know, I used to not break character at all, like the first several shows I went to, but after a while, you gotta, you know,
Yeah. Let me ask you this: when you meet people like in conventions or anything, have they tried to like actually fight you or something? Just cause
I've had a few people I've had maybe 3 people at shows like try to like kind of like big league me, like at the bar, like trying to talk shit, and I just stay in character. I'm like, oh yeah, is that right? And then they're like, man, you're good, all right, and they walk away. I was interviewing people outside the Knicks season opener last year with House of Highlights, and one guy got in my face and was like, you're not from New York. Who are you? Nothing. Just talking shit for no reason. I'm like, oh, what is that? Hulk Hogan supporter? What's going on? I know we're Hulk supporters here. So I just stay in character, man. Like I'll puff out like a puffer fish. I'm in Santiago, Chile, and we walk through a bad neighborhood, and I was like walking like this, like. So I do the So I just start walking like Macho Man, and I do it late at night on the subways if it's like, you know, if it's pretty remote. So that's my go-to now. Yeah. Oh, the whip right here.
It's you puff up like Puffo.
Yeah. Yep. Puff and Puffo. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Work at that one. Puffo Puffs. Dig it.
Are you wearing the colors too? Hufflepuff colors.
Yep.
That's the new cereal, Puffle Puffs.
I like that. That's a good graphic. If someone makes memes, man, there you go. It's a free one. Yeah. Leave it under your pillow and Macho Claus will come. Yeah. I want to do an interview with you all on your own. Yeah, I'm down, man. This is fun. I got time.
We gotta do another show and bring on all of you, like you, Chris.
Yeah. All the Chris's. Yep.
All of the guys that are in your group, you guys should all come on.
Yeah, we got the big 6, and then we got Cedric is the 7th. He's the Rock, and then there's other guys too. We got another Rock. But yeah, and the best one of all doesn't have Instagram. This is a guy named Nelson who he played Lanny Poffo, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, X-Pac, in all my videos, and some of his stuff is so convincing. People think that he's actually X-Pac, he's actually Seth Rollins, and yeah, we got Mike, Dusty, we got John and Chris who play Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash. They also play the Usos. Yeah.
Does he do the
Sheik plays Mankind?
Does he do the Seth Rollins laugh?
Yes. Yeah, he does it all, man. Yep. He's like, who do you want me to be for tonight, man? Like, let me know so I can look it up and start practicing and get the hair right. Yeah, man. So my friends that I made, they're really into it. They get into character. They're all about the detail. We got a Sandman guy who also does Vince McMahon named Matt. It's cool. When I moved to the city, I didn't really know anybody, and I went to Brooklyn Comic Con by myself, and now I go to these events, and you know I got plenty of friends, and it's cool to see everybody collaborate and like shooting videos like Comic Con, man. Shot about 40 videos. I got a lot more that I'm just sitting on waiting to release. I got stuff with I got Macho Man meets Ron Swanson, you know, Macho Man meets the She-Hulk. Yeah, so
nice.
Yeah.
God, that is amazing, man. I'm super. This is so much fun, and just kind of getting into this. Guys,
I'm on Instagram. It's the Machoverse. Check me out. It's like multiverse. Sorry to interrupt. I'm just checking out the chat.
No, it's fine. It's fine. He's saying, can he do a decent Kenny Omega?
He probably could. Probably anybody with long hair, but he doesn't want to shave, so it's got to be somebody that's facial hair. So, you know, and this is guy. If you go on the Jericho cruise, you would have met him if anybody's been on that. So, is there a Rock in your group? We have 2 Rocks. We have Dark Loku. He does the Rock. He's on Instagram. Does the Rock is LA Knight, Jericho, but mostly the Rock. And then we have another Rock named Does Sketch, and he's also really good. So then we have a third Rock who we haven't met yet, but this guy does Rocky Maivia. His teacher.
Nice.
Yeah. Old school one. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So it would be cool eventually to have like the Machoverse wrestling cosplayer service. I'm like, yeah, who do you need? All right, you need a Roman. I got you. Give us 2 days. We got somebody. You need a Roddy Piper. Okay, yeah. you know, at this point, man, at Comic-Con, we had a meetup, and I expected 10 people. We had about 50 people, man. We had like 4 Macho Men, like 3 Bray Wyatts, everybody. It was nuts.
Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt, man.
Absolutely, man.
Ron Swanson is going to be hilarious.
Yeah, man. Me asking Ron Swanson how to get rid of the snake bite, you know. Like when I met the Brood, asking them about it, and they wanted to suck out the venom. So, a lot of ideas we just get on the spot, you know.
That is so good. All right, man. So again, another hard question: who
Sure.
would win the fight? Classic Macho Man,
Haku.
NWO Macho Man,
Oh, okay.
or the Bonesaw?
Ooh.
Bonesaw lost to Spider-Man, so sorry, Bonesaw. NWO Macho Man, most powerful. He had all those people getting his back.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and my era was mostly NWO Macho Man. My stuff was mostly WCW Macho Man. Sorry, guys.
Nah, and that's fine. I mean, like, because for me, classic Macho Man is like what I grew up on. Is you know, OG
Sure.
WWE Macho Man, but like where I was like really watching Macho Man was when he was in WCW. So
Yeah, same. Because I was old enough to really understand and enjoy it. And also, I feel like he won the most championships as that Macho Man too.
Mhm.
And someone asked me to snap it to a Slim Jim.
although he was a very established Intercontinental Champion.
He was, and that's the belt I need. Someone sent me a winged eagle a couple months ago, so I wore that at Comic-Con, first like real belt I had. So if anybody has an Intercontinental belt they want to gift or donate, I'm your guy. Yeah, I'm not allowed to buy any. Our apartment is all either Pink Floyd stuff, skulls, because my wife likes skulls and voodoo stuff or whatever. Cool. Nightmare Before Christmas or Macho Man stuff.
Nice.
Someone gave me an action figure, and I'm like, nah, man, it's got to be Macho Man. I'm sorry. I'll go to a kid.
Dig it!
Rey Mysterio. Dig it, yeah.
All right, man. So what's next for you? You got any cons coming up? Any appearances that you want to throw out there that people can?
So right now, I'm just trying to win this this Snap It to a Slim Jim. Oh, you can't even say that. I can't be Macho Man in it. This Get Savage contest. So if you guys are on Instagram, please, if you can, I mean, drop a comment or share it. It's my reel that I posted a couple days ago. It's the one that started off the show. So I feel like if more people share it, I get more traction. Hopefully I get a chance of winning, going to Survivor Series. It would be cool. I don't expect to, but I put a lot into it. Stayed at work for 3 hours doing it. I filmed it with my cell phone against a pencil holder the entire time. I'm changing costumes, and I'm yelling in my classroom at 6 p.m. And I'm like, hope no one hears it and calls the cops, or the custodian doesn't have a heart attack. So you can check out my Instagram. Most of the stuff I update is IG. I have a lot of reels coming up. I'll be at WrestleMania 40 with all my cosplay buddies that do wrestlers. Next is going to be House of Glory December 1st in Jamaica, Queens. And WrestleMania 40. And we'll see what happens. Whenever I take a break, I start doing more stuff. So right now I'm kind of trying to take a break and relax.
I hear that, man. So where can everybody find you, man? What's all your social media, all
Sure.
the places, everything, man?
Everything is the Machoverse. So it's like the multiverse, but macho. Multiverse of madness. Yeah. That's why I have the different mashups, because it's supposed to be like a universe, the Machoverse, where there is a macho Captain Hook, there is a macho Beetlejuice, there is a macho Lebowski. All right. So the Machoverse is the best place to reach me. Email is there for inquiries, Twitter, all that, but I'm mostly on Instagram.
Love it, man. Well, thanks for the interview. Thank you for hanging out with us, man.
Thank you, man.
You planning on hanging out and weighing in on this? We're gonna talk Crown Jewel here.
Yeah, I'll hang out for a few minutes for sure. Yeah, I'll hang out and watch you build stuff with Legos.
Yeah.
Adrian, he hasn't made much progress. He's talking too much with his hands.
I know, right?
I've actually made a lot.
It's the same.
Oh wow! Did you start that from scratch?
So just to show you where we're at here. Like I said, I've actually made a lot of progress here. So I finished off the entire side, this side of the school right here. I've got this up here. So basically, all I've been working on is the towers on the backside right there.
Oh, that's cool. Nice. I just got to Harry Potter last summer. My wife made me watch the movies. I'm glad I did.
They're good movies.
Yeah, they're
amazing. So much fun. I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And now I'm watching all of the Pixar movies. But side note, so.
Yeah. No, Pixar movies are good to watch too. You can see how everybody at Pixar has an ass fetish.
Yes.
Is that right? Is that right?
notice this, and this is just because we're adults and we can make these conversations, right? But every mom character in Pixar has a fat ass.
Interesting. All right, I'm gonna look out for that. We're gonna watch Monsters Inc. next. We watched Monster University last night, so I want to watch it in the real order. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, guys, if you guys want to have a podcast, I'm down to do it. I'm always down to tell stories and talk. I love it.
Oh hell yeah.
Absolutely. Well, see now at this point, this is kind of how we do it, right? The first appearance is always like an interview. Second appearance is come on, have a bunch of fun, and just
cool. Yeah, I dig it. Cause I got a million stories, but I mean, I did talk constantly, but I don't know.
We love all stories, man. Like any story you want to tell, all for it.
I'll elaborate. Next time I'll tell you the Subway Mania story, and I'll elaborate on the emergency room trip.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get into this into this crown jewel. So, for all of our wrestling fans, over the weekend here, there was a premium live event, as WWE now calls it.
Really?
Right, a premium, quote unquote, premium live event. I'm still forever going to call them pay-per-views, but I mean that's basically what it is. And along with that, guys, we had it was actually a decent show. I would say it was decent. I wouldn't say it was like
all right.
I mean that's the whole
decent,
thing.
Yes.
WWE's track record lately has been hit or miss.
Are you going to go in order?
I'm going to go in order for matches.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, so we're basically going to recap, give a little bit of an opinion on what we thought of the matches. So we'll start here with the pre-show. We had a JD McDonough versus Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn took the match, which as he should have. But I mean, I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on the match?
I watched it while I was preparing foraged mushrooms. So I heard it was okay. There was a lot of jumping around and excitement. So ask Adrian.
Yeah. So to be fair, I'm not a fan of JD McDonough. So which is when I see him, he's annoying to me.
I don't like his look. He reminds me of someone I didn't like. No respect for him. You know, he's great.
Yeah. He was doing a lot of overselling, if you know what I mean. Like there was a spot where Sami Zayn, like he just threw him in the turnbuckle and he just did a flip and then fell on the ring and then did the soccer dive or whatever. And I'm just like, come on, man, really? To me, like I think the match was okay, but I mean it's a pre-show match. Right. JD McDonough was in it. I wasn't really too excited about it.
Yeah, I didn't understand. I haven't been really watching Raw or SmackDown consistently, but I guess he's feuding with the Judgment Day, right? So okay.
Right. Well, he's trying to join Judgment Day is the whole thing, right? He's trying to be
Disco with the NWO.
I guess like
Sammy with the Bloodline.
I know, right? Sammy with the Bloodline. Like he's trying to be like the new member of the Judgment Day. I guess. I mean, it's not. He's okay. Sami Zayn is a much better entertainer. Now, also one of the big spots on this is something that wasn't even a part of the match, but like Sami Zayn coming out, he gets really lit up now because for a guy that did not want to go to Saudi Arabia, for like the first couple times they went out there, I didn't realize that he was Arabic, that he was Arab, that he's actually Iranian, but I mean like
he's Syrian.
Oh, he's Syrian. I thought he was Iranian. But I didn't realize that he was Middle Eastern, and until that last time that he went out to Saudi Arabia and he addressed the audience in Arabic.
Yeah, because Syria joined. I'm gonna be a teacher for a minute. Syria joined the Arab League, I believe. So now everything is all cool with them in Syria. So now Sammy is embracing it.
Yeah, that's it was kind of a shocker for me, but I mean, like it's you see, he was genuinely having a good time.
Yeah, he was. Good for him. I didn't know he was in the pre-show though. Yeah, same. I saw that, and then they started talking again. I'm like, what's this? Fast forward.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm happy to see that he's, doing spots out there, and he's having fun while doing it. So, But I mean, like the match in itself, again, I feel like Sami Zayn is a much better entertainer, so I feel like that was a correct win.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
All right.
that was a decent match.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next match here. I don't know why they started it with this because this should have been the main event, but obviously
Drew.
because Roman is like, you know, the king right now. But I mean, dude, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. I saw it
easily,
was a great match.
yeah, easily what I would say that this was probably match of the night.
Match of the night, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
definitely. And without a doubt. Have my attention the entire time.
Yeah, it was like the only match the entire night that was like that attention grabber that kept your attention.
Yeah. And then that's what a lot of people online were saying. Like the first match was of the show was really great, and just the show after that started dying down. It wasn't the same. It didn't live up to the expectation.
Which I mean is pretty normal for WWE at this point, right? Is like a lot of the show is just kind of meh.
Yeah, it's kind of like the last PLE where what was it, Becky and Trish had that cage match, and after that the show was just like, eh.
Yes, I agree. How do you follow that? You know?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like at least it could have been co-main event or something, but to have it as an opening match, no.
I just can't wait to talk about the entrance for Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley's entrance was
What?
it was a little weird. We'll get to that.
Fine.
No, we're definitely going to talk about that.
I gotta take this off though. I'm sweating a bit too much.
So. No worries, man. You can get out of character if you need to, man.
We're undressed.
So yeah, actually, we'll get into that now. So again, Seth Rollins won the match. I feel like as good of a match as it was, I feel like Drew's getting a little hosed.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like I get it. You want to make Seth look strong, but at the same time, it's like
you're burying talent.
Yeah, you're burying Drew McIntyre.
Right. Maybe have some shenanigans or still make Drew look strong because he didn't.
Yeah.
Finish at least.
Because I mean, Drew McIntyre is a main eventer. But like, no matter what, 100%. I feel like they need to give Drew McIntyre a much better push than he's getting.
Also, his whole push was like during when there was no crowd. You know?
Pandemic era.
And they highlighted that, which is kind of messed up.
Yeah.
That they decided to highlight that he hasn't had a good run. It's like, well, give him a good run then.
Yeah, right.
The word is that Drew has not signed a new contract yet. Yeah, I don't know if he did.
And I mean, if he hasn't signed a new contract, it's like if you're gonna give him a shitty run,
right?
What gives him the incentive to sign a contract, right? You know, and it's like if he were to leave and go to like AEW, he would do well in AEW in the initial part of the run, and then then he'd get buried like everybody else does.
Yeah, because Tony needs to hire writers or something.
Yeah, absolutely does.
He just needs to spread talent around through all three shows, you know.
Dude, bring Ring of Honor, go on tour, make them do small venues like Hammerstein Ballroom, what they used to do.
Yeah.
Make it an actual promotion. Like with WCW, it got killed when WWE bought it, and they did nothing with it.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that.
And that's part of the problem with WWE is they tend to bury talent because they don't know what to do with them. And it's kind of like you have 2 shows, 5 hours with 2 shows, and you can't figure out what to do with all your talent.
It's crazy.
You know, because you guys want to highlight the same people over and over again.
Yeah.
Wait, which one are we talking about now?
Raw or WWE?
AEW, right?
Yeah, WWE. I'm saying like,
okay, I meant AEW. I'm just like, why does this random guy have a match instead of the people that are normally on the show?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like for example, I don't know if you guys remember that episode of Raw when there was a whole flight delayed or something, and a lot of wrestlers couldn't make the show.
Oh, it was so good. It was SmackDown.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I think it was Kevin Owens who had like a quote unquote kayfabe injury, and I'm like, what are you doing? You have a lot of people sitting in catering waiting to get their
wait. Oh, I was thinking of when Saudi Arabia and it ended up being like Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan. It was like amazing because never mind. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, it was but yeah, they had Kevin Owens versus I forgot who it was, but I'm like, you have a lot of people in catering who are waiting for a moment on TV, and you're not even using them.
Like
that's part of the problem is because that last time they were in Saudi Arabia, like that was the situation, and they was like, okay, well, we need to fix this, and they gave everybody that hadn't gotten the shake like a decent shake after that. It's like, fuck, we need more of this.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and move on to the next event here, which we were kind of talking about a second ago. Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax versus Zoe Stark versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Shayna Baszler for the women's title.
Okay, I expected the Undertaker to come out. I didn't know what was happening. All these like Saudi sheiks were like, okay, one by one they were coming out, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be awesome. Like, what is happening? This is gonna be really weird or really cool. And then nothing happened. They all just stood there.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley came out and like, I don't know.
I was so
edge of my seat
at that, and it was way longer than it needed to be.
Yeah.
Now, do you think those were just like really important people over there that wanted a front row, like just of her
To be a part of
entrance?
the show. I mean, it could be that. It could be that they were just like important dudes that wanted to be a part of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was watching it and I'm like, okay, because I saw it. I didn't see it live. I saw the replay because I knew there was going to be tons of promos and I just want to skip all that.
Right. Same.
So then as I'm watching the Rhea Ripley, my wife comes in and she's like, what's going on? Is the Undertaker coming out? I was like, no, it's Rhea Ripley. She's like, what are those dudes doing? I was like, I don't know. They're just standing there. And we looked and nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Yeah,
And then-
same. I was so confused.
And then I was on Twitter, like before I saw the PLE, and everybody was like, "Oh, Rhea Ripley got the best entrance," and I'm like, "Where?"
Yeah, I don't know if I would say she had the best entrance. It would have been cooler if it was shorter.
Yes.
I feel like it was just too long for what it was.
Eric Ruiz has such great analysis, and by the way, shout out to Lucharillas.
Yes.
Eric's awesome.
Yes,
One of my favorite shirts.
100% shout outs to Lucharillas because they're the whole reason that you're on the show.
All right, awesome, and that is one of my favorite shirts. I need to get another one from him because I watched it too many times. But yeah. Shout out to Eric.
You know what's funny? I almost wore my
right.
I almost wore my Distance Nerdarilla shirt tonight too.
Nice.
Wow, that's so many.
You know that there is a brand partnership between us and Lucharillas that I have a Distance Nerdarilla shirt.
Now I know.
It's pretty awesome.
Eric's right. Tony Khan's doing way too many things. He's like the Tyler Perry of wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Is he really doing all of those things still?
Yeah.
The soccer team, how? When does he sleep?
Maybe some something else. Maybe in a
it could be. It could be. You never know.
But jumping back on this, I mean,
sorry.
the match. No, it's fine. It's fine. The match itself was it was an okay match. I wouldn't say it was like the best spot of the entire night. I feel like there was a little bit of like convoluted stuff going on. Probably one of the bigger highlights was something that was extremely unplausible. Shayna Baszler putting 3 people in a in a submission at the same time.
I mean,
that was a pretty cool spot.
Yeah,
it was a good spot. Again, it's dumb for anybody who knows how fighting actually works. But I mean, like,
true.
Yeah.
At least
I like how she came out with her gear and stuff.
Her
That
gi.
was pretty cool.
That was cool.
At least it wasn't as bad as fake MMA like she did in her last fight.
Yes, that
was lame.
That was
good for her. They're finally using her much better, I feel like.
Well, I guess in that last match with
Ronda
Rousey, I guess they actually wanted to fight. Like they wanted to have a legit fight, and WWE was like, no.
I don't know if you remember. Sorry to interrupt you. I don't know if you remember. AEW did a MMA rules match with Wardlow and Jake Hager.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw that. They should have done it just the same way. They even had the cage.
Yeah, that was cool, right? I'm trying to remember. It was a while ago. All right.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be just like that, but no, it was highly disappointing.
Yeah, like I said, I guess they wanted to have like an actual fight because they actually spar and they actually train together. And they both wanted to do like an actual fight, and WWE said that it was too unsafe and they didn't want to do it.
And now they're with they're
remember the brawl. Remember the brawl for all.
It's dumb, but I mean, like, yeah. At least Shayna Baszler did something somewhat cool, and then of course Rhea Ripley ends up coming out on top as She should. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna.
she should. Yeah. James has a good point too. She doesn't have enough opponents to challenge her for the title. Kind of like what happened with Jade Cargill after a while.
Yeah.
Which I mean, and
with Roman.
Yeah, I know, right? It's going to be interesting to see who they have Jade Cargill go after.
Yeah, because right now she's all over the place. She's just showing up on SmackDown, Raw, and NXT.
Wait. She's debuted already?
Yeah.
No, she's just showing up on.
Okay. Yeah, like don't ever win the Rumble right away, but they probably will.
I and we've talked about this on the past on the show. I do not think that Jade Cargill should go to the main roster immediately. I think she should be on NXT. I think that she has some mic skills that she needs to work on. I think that I think there's a couple of things that she needs to work on first before they bring her up to the main roster. And I get that they're gonna want to put her on the main roster because she's like a big name to bring over from AEW.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that she herself is ready for that.
No, not yet. Gentlemen, I'm gonna go. Thanks for having me on, Eric.
Yeah.
Thank you for setting this up with these wonderful gentlemen. I appreciate you guys all. Check out my Slim Jim video, please. I hate to spam you guys, but
actually, we're gonna play it one more time, man. Why not?
Awesome, let's do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
George Washington wasn't just the president. Hey, who threw that?
I didn't throw nothing.
Hey, wake up. Put your phone away. I know just the thing.
Need a little excitement. No more boredom. Wake up. Wide awake now. Yeah. Stop throwing stuff. Get off your phone. Phones are stupid anyway. Now we're learning. I love school now. George Washington rule. Get savage.
There for 2 minutes of this video, just yelling random stuff, and then I just like went and I saw what worked. Cool.
Hell yeah, man. Again, man, we'd be happy to have you on the show again if you want to come with more people as part of the Machoverse and more people who are in the old school wrestling universe.
Absolutely.
Bring them along with you, man. We'll have a shit ton of fun and talk wrestling and just be nerds.
Cool. Eventually, I'll make an IG page for the whole group. I think.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
All right, gentlemen. Oh yeah, take it easy. And I'll be the man.
Have a good night.
See you later. Yeah.
I'm gonna play him off.
Keyboard cat.
Elevator music.
We'll do it live. Play a song.
Macho Madness. Yeah.
Oh man, so much fun.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Put this down right here. So yeah, man. So we'll continue on here. By the way, if anybody, if any of our wrestling fans are out there, if you guys want to hop on, by all means, just let us know. So again, Rhea Ripley came out on top as it should. So next match, very questionable match. John Cena versus Solo Sikoa. When I say questionable, it's like, okay, I love that John Cena is so willing to put people over.
Yeah.
But 5 years, man, like why does anybody consider him anything if you not won a match in 5 years?
Yeah, that's I don't know. I guess people are just using his resume to be like, oh, John Cena's putting people over.
Because that's all he does now, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy that somebody who, like, you know, for the longest time, you always heard rumors that he never wants to put people over. He always wants to run over himself. Dude spent 5 years doing nothing but putting wrestlers over.
Yep.
But at this point, you don't necessarily need to put Solo Sikoa over. He's pretty over already as it is. Yeah. And he hasn't even had a match. This is his first pay-per-view appearance where he's had a match. And he's already pretty over.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think, to me, I feel like it's going to be, well, actually, after that promo he delivered on SmackDown when he buried Solo, and we know for a fact now Solo can't talk for shit. We know he can't talk for shit. Right immediately after that promo, I thought, oh my God, we're going to get another Austin Theory situation here where Austin Theory pinned John Cena at WrestleMania, and then nothing. Austin Theory had a disappointing run as United States champion.
Yep.
And now he's teaming up with the great Waller guy, whatever his name is. He's getting lost in the shuffle, and I'm like, hopefully Solo Sikoa doesn't follow that path, but I don't think he will, especially since he is in the bloodline.
Right, and that's kind of where I'm at. Is I feel like he's in the bloodline. He's running the gimmick that the Usos used to run.
Yes, yes.
Essentially being like the badass Samoan, right? And it's like I'm for that. I like the idea of having like a badass Samoan. That's
like an enforcer. Yeah,
an enforcer and everything like that. The only thing that I really felt, also I don't like his finisher. I feel like the Samoan spike is not that good, right? But what I do like is at the end of the match when he was walking away, he was basically talking shit in Samoan.
Yeah.
I thought that was dope.
Yeah.
And it's like because I do kind of miss that old gimmick that the Usos used to have, where they would come in and do a haka and all that shit.
Yeah.
I kind of miss that a little bit, right? The match itself was okay. Like John Cena, John Cena. I mean, like he came in, he put up a lot of good moves. He even did new moves that he doesn't normally do, which was kind of cool, right? But I mean, like, even then, ultimately, he lost still.
Yeah. But it's like John Cena's past his prime. He only came back because Hollywood's on strike. Like, I mean, to me, it's like, what is this? Does this even mean something? He hasn't won a singles match in how long?
In 5 years.
Yeah,
5 years he hasn't won a singles match. It's almost like he's been saying he wants to retire for the longest time.
Yeah,
we all know he's more Hollywood than he is a wrestler at this point. It's the same thing with so The Rock is back, right?
Yeah,
and we all know The Rock is back partially because of the strike, but mostly because he's trying to save face because we've been joking on the show for over a year about like The Rock getting canceled, but he's actually getting canceled right now, so he's just trying to show face. Which honestly, I don't think he should be getting canceled for what he's getting canceled for. I think it's fucking stupid, but
and I don't know, this whole solo match, to me, I thought it was really predictable. Again, John Cena hasn't won a match in 5 years. I don't think this does anything. I don't think this is going to elevate Solo even more.
No, I don't either. I agree. I don't think that this elevates Solo in any way.
I didn't like this match at all. I mean, it was John Cena. We knew Solo was going to come out on top. Predictable from the beginning. I wasn't looking forward to this match whatsoever.
Right. Sewong saying Dave Bautista has yet to come back. Dave Bautista came back and did his retirement match already. Yeah. So I mean, Batista did come back already. And I think also part of it is because John Cena coming back, but because they just STS just mentioned it. It's because they're in Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia fucking loves John Cena.
Yeah.
I think part of it is also just because they just wanted John Cena to be there, and they're like, well, who do we put him up against? Well, you can put Solo Sikoa up. Okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
So I think it was just more. They were just trying to find a match for John Cena, and John Cena was like, well, if I'm going to do a match, I want to make sure I put somebody over, and let's do Solo Sikoa. They were probably thinking he's not that over, but I mean, he kind of is. Like Solo Sikoa is over on his own, just because he does look like a stoic badass when he does with the bloodline. He's also the only dude in the bloodline that's like left that's worth a damn. So it's like
and he's the one that shows up still.
Exactly. He's the only one really putting in work, right? Yeah. So we'll move on here. So we had a spot in between matches here. It was essentially The Miz versus Grayson Waller fighting over whose talk show was better, and they were joined by a Saudi Arabian comedian named Ibrahim Al-Hajjaj. What do you think of that spot, man?
Talk shows. See this, you're gonna be pissed. And this is why I didn't watch the show live. I waited to the replay because I knew some bullshit was gonna come on, and the Miz and Waller came in, and I immediately said skip.
Yeah.
But I mean, the guy, I didn't know who the guy was until people online were telling me that he's a comedian, very well known over there in that part of the world. But I mean, talk show on a PLE, to me, it was skippable, and I did.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's one of those spots where they're just trying to fill time when they should just be putting a match there.
That's what I'm saying. See, and this is the thing about WWE marks complain, bitch, and complain. Oh, are you gonna have a pay-per-view 6 hours long? WWE does the same thing. Just so happens that they had 3 hours of ads and 2 hours of matches.
Right.
You know, make them back. Well, back in the day, they used to be what, 3 hours long?
It depends. I mean, some of the longer, like
4 hours. Just leave it with that. Just have matches, do little promos here and there, but that's it. Like every video package leading up to the match was like almost average of 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, dude. I've been watching the show. I know what led up to this to the match. I don't need to rewatch it again.
That was actually one of the complaints that like a lot of people had online specifically was, did we need a 15-minute promo package between Damian Priest, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns and LA Knight? Like, no, we don't need a 15-minute promo package. Like, it's kind of like, I get it. And I think what they're understanding is there's, I think on WWE's side, where their understanding is they kind of understand that a lot of people aren't watching Raw and SmackDown. Yeah. And this is just like, we need to do like the storyline, and they're making them like more and more produced. Again, as cool as that promo for Roman Reigns and LA Knight was, we didn't need it.
No, we didn't know. Didn't they have one like at the beginning of the show and then like another one throughout the show or something?
Right. You don't need like 3 or 4 of these promo packages. Like, it's like just one at the beginning of the show is fine. We don't need like a fucking 1,000 of them later on,
or even one before the match. But make them shorter, like 3-4 minutes long. That's it. What do you need to have them like 10 minutes, 15 minutes long? No.
We don't need extra long promo packages. I agree with that. It's just like get back to the fighting. That's why we're watching. So again, it was a short promo, and it led into a match that was somewhat decent. Has a lot of controversy, but I think it's all a work to begin with.
Yeah.
But we got Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul. This is probably one of the first times in a while that we've seen a title change in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Because that doesn't happen very often. It doesn't happen where there's a title change in Saudi Arabia. Right? Now I feel like, and I feel like for like the one title change in Saudi Arabia, like they had to do Rey Mysterio dirty.
Well, see, and this is going on. I'm continuing from Austin Theory's title reign. Horrible title reign as U.S. champ. Rey Mysterio, horrible title reign. I don't even know why he got the title. I mean, was there a memorable?
It all had to do with an injury because what's his name from Latino World Order, the dude who was supposed to fight.
What's his name? Santos Escobar
got injured, so that's why they ended, because he got injured. They ended up like at the last minute. It was like the day before he got hurt. At like a house show, and so they decided, okay, well, we're just gonna throw Rey Mysterio in there to like round it out.
I mean, that I understand, but it's like it was still a disappointing run, in my opinion. I mean, you're calling out every time Rey Mysterio comes out, you announce him as a Hall of Famer, and I didn't see anything. I didn't like the title run. Is what I'm trying to say. I didn't like it. It was disappointing. And then now that Logan Paul has a belt, I know he said he's going to be in the WWE more instead of being a part-timer. Hopefully he can bring some light into the U.S. title, because to me, I just think it's just a dead title right now.
No, I agree. That's kind of the other part of it is, so they finally give Logan Paul a title, which is kind of solidifying Logan Paul as a wrestler.
Yeah. He's actually a decent wrestler. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna talk shit about his wrestling. I actually likes his type of style. You know, the flips, the moonsaults. That's the style I like.
Yeah, he actually is a decent wrestler.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I have nothing bad to say about the way he wrestles. He's actually a good wrestler.
Yeah.
You know, just I mean, you know, the only thing with it is, yeah, the controversy that they're doing with it, right? So like the whole brass knuckles thing, which is, you know, a pretty common storyline breaker, right? But then having Ray acting like he is surprised by it, and Hogan saying "I love you," you know, it's only business and everything like that. It's like, do we need that? That's like a Vince McMahon storyline.
Yeah,
that kind of shit.
Yeah, no, I didn't like that at all. I don't know. It's just, this is my thing with WWE. It's like, I understand heels are supposed to cheat. I completely understand that.
Right.
But really, in every match, in every time, like almost this PLE had how many interferences by heels?
There was a lot. There was a lot in this. In this.
And I'm like, do it like in one or two matches, cool. But I'm like, in every match, you seriously doing it in every match? This is just lazy booking at its finest. This is lazy booking for cheap heat for the heels, and I didn't like it. This is why this PLE was mid as fuck. And let me ask you this: that spot where Rey Mysterio did a moonsault and almost got seriously injured, and Logan Paul caught him.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I saw it. And like, yeah, Logan Paul basically saved his life right there.
Okay, so yeah, I understand he did save his life, but if you look at the video back again, Logan Paul was not in the correct spot. He was too far back. So it could have been his mistake why Rey Mysterio could have gotten injured. It's still a good save, but at the end of the day, it was he was in the wrong spot.
Right. Right. No, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, with that, you know, again, Logan Paul won. He got the title, and I mean, I do hope that Logan Paul takes it seriously, and
I hope he elevates the U.S. title, because it's worthless at this point. You know, Austin Theory carried it in a disappointing run.
Right.
Same with Rey Mysterio, and now Logan Paul. Hopefully, he can bring some prestigiousness to the title, because I'm not seeing it right now.
I feel it, and I kind of agree with that. The U.S. title was having a good run for a little while, and then, you know, they kind of just, you know, took all the prestige away from it. So going into the next match here, there were some good spots. This match was a lot better than the crowd gave it credit for.
Yes. The crowd was.
This would have been probably my second match of the night. Io Sky versus Bianca Belair. It was a good match. It was a really good match. You know, the crowd was really out of it, because you can tell like there wasn't really very much excitement for what was going on. Yeah. But if you watch the match, it was fucking good.
Yeah. Well, they were in Saudi Arabia too, so.
And that's kind of like where I was chalking it up to, is I think part of it was also just they're in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. You know, they already don't like, they already look down on women in Saudi Arabia to begin with. So it's like I kind of felt like, okay, it has to be because, you know, that you know, people just don't really like Saudi Arabia that much.
Yeah, no, I kind of completely agree. I was looking at the match because I was on my phone texting, working my page, our social media page, and I looked up. I was like, "What? Did somebody turn the volume down?" And I look up. I'm like, "Oh shit, the match is still going on." And the crowd was pretty much dead. I'm like, "Really?" Especially when Kairi Sane came out.
And that's what I was gonna say. So like Kairi Sane returned, which was a super surprise, because I don't think anybody thought Kairi Sane was coming back. She just left. She had this amazing run in NJPW. So it's like, you know, you see where she goes to New Japan and wins a title and is just killing it over there. Yep. The last thing you're expecting is Kairi Sane to come back when she, especially the way she got fired.
Yes.
You know, again, it was a Vince McMahon firing, so you know that was fucking stupid. Yeah. But I mean, like, at the same time, you're not expecting her to come back, and I'm sure Triple H found some way to bring her back, and whatever he did to bring her back, fucking thank you, Triple H.
Yeah. That's my question too. Like, what do you see Kairi saying? Like, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, she might join Damage Control, or she might make her own little team with Io Sky. I mean,
I see that happening. I see that happening, and the reason I see that happening is because Io Sky has been very rocky with Damage Control lately.
Yes.
And I see it being her time to leave Damage Control. But the only thing is, as much as I would love to see Io Sky and Kairi Sane in a team again, because they were fucking badass when they were in NJPW together.
Yeah.
As much as I would love that, they need a mouthpiece.
They do.
They need a mouthpiece the same way that Asuka needs a mouthpiece, the same way that Shinsuke Nakamura needs that mouthpiece. Shinsuke Nakamura's new run is so fucking dope. If he had a mouthpiece, done.
It is. I actually saw something on Facebook today. One of our fans sent it to us. He was saying, "Oh, imagine this faction: Kairi Sane, Io Sky, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Asuka."
Yeah,
I would see that, but they do need a mouthpiece.
I thought about that when I saw Kairi come back and Io Sky were together again, and you can tell that there's going to be some kind of tension because also the last match that Kairi Sane had was with Bayley. And they use that. That's a storyline that they can use to have Io Sky leave Damage Control.
Yeah. So, and then there's my other question too: is like, if you're going to bring Sarah Kane back, right? Mm-hmm. Do you make her a single stars, or do you? Because it looks like right now they're probably going to put her in a faction or in a tag team. Is this like ruining her already, burying her, getting lost in the shuffle, or what?
I hope not, man. She's too good of a wrestler to just bury, which kind of happens with WWE. Like, you saw the pop, and it was in Saudi Arabia, which that's also a big deal. Is for a comeback to happen in Saudi Arabia,
right?
But, But I mean, like seeing Kairi Sane back again. The Pirate Princess gimmick, I never had a problem with that. You do that with Io Sky being the queen of the fucking sky, and then put Asuka in there, have the three of them together, and then, like I said, get them a mouthpiece, get them somebody who can represent them in a way that's dope. I guess you could do Shinsuke Nakamura in that too, and that could be like, that could be like the reverse Judgment Day, right? Where like he's like the leader of Judgment Day, but she's a female and a male and a male faction. Shinsuke Nakamura being like a male and a female faction could be dope, but I mean, at the same time, like I feel like Shinsuke Nakamura needs a good solo run because the dude, I feel like he needs an IC run, like a good IC run.
Yeah. I mean, I think he faced who Tozawa today.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, come on, man. You guys are doing his run backwards. We went for the World Heavyweight title. He beat Ricochet in that street fight, and then you're doing Tozawa? Usually it's the other way around. You have to go through the jobber, the mid-card guy, and then you get the title opportunity. Right. It's like right now he's being booked backwards.
Yeah, and it's like, again, I like Akira Tozawa. I do not have any problems with Akira Tozawa. I don't feel like they're doing Akira Tozawa right either.
They're not. That's what I like to say on our show. Because WWE does like to bury people, and sometimes they don't care about their talent. So if you guys don't care about your talent, why am I supposed to care?
Right, because Akira Tozawa is a really good wrestler.
I actually saw some of his highlights back in Japan.
But even then, like his first run with WWE, he was a badass.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like I want to see more respect to a lot of the Japanese wrestlers because a lot of these guys are fucking dope. Like, what really bothers me specifically about Shinsuke Nakamura is we have not seen the King of Strong Style in any way.
Nope.
Like I have not seen in any way like the way that the King of Strong Style is supposed to be.
Yeah, no, not in it. I liked Shinsuke when he first arrived, and then I don't know if you remember he had the match with AJ Styles.
Yeah.
That was built out like the next big thing. Oh, these guys fought at Wrestle Kingdom. They headlined the Tokyo Dome. The match came, and I'm like, the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I didn't see AJ Styles or Shinsuke Nakamura from New Japan. It was highly disappointing. And they had like 5 more matches after that. And every single one of them is forgettable.
And a lot of it is because WWE doesn't know how to market those matches. They don't know how to
don't.
To matches. You know, that's one of the problems that WWE has is they don't know how to handle these wrestlers who are more high flying. That match I think would have been served better in AEW because they would have let them do what the fuck they wanted.
Yeah, or Stardom too. I'm talking about Io Sky and Bianca Belair. So,
yeah,
but
I mean, it's funny that we see more from Io Sky, but like in a slower manner than we're used to with the was in NJPW. Because like that's the thing in New Japan, when you watch them, they're fucking exciting. Yeah. You don't get that excitement. You don't get the same excitement in WWE. You don't in the main roster at least. You know, because they're just like, oh yeah, well, you know, we have to do this or we can't do this, and it's like, no, you can't. Let them do their thing.
Yeah, that's what I think. Who was it? It was last week, the Creed brothers. You know, I'm like, and I was talking to Brian on my show, and I'm like, bro, just this is what I like in wrestling. Just if you're management, if you're the booker, just you know these people know how to actually wrestle. Just let them go out there and do their thing. Just let them do their thing, and you'll have a great match. You know.
Right.
And that's something that WWE needs to do. If you know your wrestler is safe in the ring and he's a great worker, a great wrestler, just let them go out there and do their thing.
I agree. I 100% agree with that whole sentiment. Like, you know, like just let them do their thing, you know, especially like if they're practicing their spots, let them do it.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll move on to the next match here. So we got Damian Priest versus Cody Rhodes, which was, again, an okay match. Wouldn't say that it was bad just because Cody Rhodes elevates anything he's in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, I mean, like, you know, and I do love Damian Priest. I think Damian Priest is one of those dudes that, you know, he has come a long way from being like, you know,
from jobbing to Bad Bunny.
From being like the fat dude that used to job to being like the super built dude that is, you know, a good wrestler. Like he actually is a really good wrestler.
Yeah.
Which I skipped this part, but I didn't really skip. Yeah, I think I did skip this part with the Seth Rollins spot at the end where he was going to cash in on Seth Rollins.
Oh yeah.
And
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn comes in and hooded up. Takes the briefcase and runs off, and I was like, "That is hilarious."
Yeah,
I thought that was a fun way to do that. But you know, he comes out with his titles. The match was okay. You know, I did like the point where he came in and he started using Cody's moves against him.
Yeah,
and then renaming them. So like, you know, he was like, "Oh yeah, he's doing the Crossroads," but he renamed it to what did he name it? He named it
I forgot, to be honest.
I'm trying to remember it right now.
Can he do like a backwards Crossroads or something?
Yeah, and I think he called it the Reckoning.
Oh yeah.
Right, which I think is great because it's kind of like a fuck you to Cody Rhodes. And I'm sure they practiced that like 1,000 times. That's why he had like the smile on his face and everything like that. But like, I love that because like Cody Rhodes knows how to sell a match. Cody Rhodes
does.
The only thing I'm tired about with Cody Rhodes is every match they have to make him injured. Right?
Tell me about it.
It's that does get annoying because it's like we don't need him to be injured in every fucking match.
Yeah. It's like, I know they're trying to do the redemption story with him and Roman and next year's WrestleMania, and I'm like, okay, cool, just start the redemption story. But do you really have to get him injured all the time? We all know he's gonna win,
right? Mm-hmm. And I think the other thing that they're doing with that is they're trying to make it like, he's trying to make his dad proud, which he is.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Is he is trying to make his dad proud? Like he's trying to be the wrestler that his dad could never like. They never allowed his dad to be.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, I appreciate that. like the character redemption arc and everything on that, but at the same time, we don't need him to be hurt in every match.
No.
Like, why are you breaking his ankle in this match? Like, just like you tried to break his arm, just like, you know, and I get it. They're basically just trying to redo the actual injury that he had.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people had like, you know, this whole like, oh my God, we got to root for Cody because he has he tore his pec.
Yeah.
I listened to an interview that he did talking about that. And he was like, no, I actually tore my pec. And I was in fucking pain the entire time. Right.
Yeah.
You know, but it was like, you know, his whole thing was I need to finish this whole story to honor my dad. And it's like, okay, so WWE decided we're going to take this story and we're going to do it for every match that he's in.
Yeah, it's like, and this is the problem I have with the WWE. It's like, I understand, you know, especially like how WWE marks like to say, oh, WWE has a team of creative, writing staff, all that, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. If they have the writing staff, the creative staff, why are they doing copy and paste storytelling? Like, why? You know, you have top of the line, quote unquote, writers and creatives. But you guys are repeating the same story over and over in the same storyline in the same match. Like,
I can answer that for you. And that's specifically because like the writers have come out and said specifically that they don't like doing shit like that. What ends up happening is they write the story and then somebody that's higher up, usually like a Vince McMahon or somebody who's got ultimate authority, will say, well, no, I don't like this. We're going to do this. And it's always something that nobody wants.
So essentially they still don't have no writing or creative, right?
Like basically their creative team gets stifled. Like they will come up with like really good ideas and then they get stopped by somebody that's in upper management that says, no, I want to do this instead. And they're like, that's fucking dumb, but we have to do it because, you know, there's nothing we can't say, like we can't say no.
Yeah. And did you actually read I don't know if you know about this, but you know, a former WWE writer went on the record and said that, you know, she doesn't even have to know wrestling to write about it. You know, she wasn't required to know about wrestling.
Right.
And I'm like, really? You guys are just grabbing people off the street just for a copy and paste story?
Right.
Yeah. And then guess what happened in the match? An interference by another heel faction.
Yeah. So like the entire fucking their entire faction came out.
And this is why I call Dark Order or Judgment Day Dark Order from Wish, because they're just fucking goofballs. They're goofballs. They're goofballs that are trying to act like bad tough guys. Like literally, what Jey Uso took all three of them out with 3 super kicks, 1 super kick each.
3 super kicks, and then he pulled out a steel chair and like he almost Ninja Turtled them, right? Like he just picked up the chair and was like, and then started running.
And I'm like, this is supposed to be a top heel faction that's supposed to be threatening to the whole roster. No, they're just fucking goofballs.
It's dumb.
To me, they're just Dark Order from Wish. At least Dark Order from Wish are like, yeah, we're goofballs. You know, these guys are wannabe tough guys that are goofballs, and I just can't stand none of them.
I mean, like again, I like the faction. I don't like the dumb shit that they try to make it do, though. It's like you can make that faction so much better if you stop doing the stupid shit. Because it's a good faction if you book them right.
Yeah, it's a good if you actually treat them like tough guys. Okay, cool. I'll be like, all right, damn, that's a faction that you don't want to mess with.
Right.
But no, everybody fucks. They're losing almost every Raw and SmackDown match. The only ones that are winning is Rhea Ripley and Dominic. You know, and I don't know. They're just a bunch of goofballs over there.
Yeah, and we only watch Rhea Ripley and Dominic because Rhea Ripley's hot. So I mean,
yeah. And we watch Dominic because we want to see his hit. We want to see him get his ass kicked.
Because everybody wants to see him get punched in the face. That's why.
Yeah.
That's all we want.
Yeah.
As fans, the more Dominic Mysterio gets punched in the face, the happier we are.
Yep.
Because it's like, and I know that's what he's going for, but it's like, we really hate Dominic Mysterio because of the way he treats his dad. His dad's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
But it's like I know he does it on purpose, and it's kind of like why we accept it because we know he's being a goofball idiot on purpose.
Yeah.
You know, like we knew that the minute that he started playing the whole I'm a gangster and I went to jail bullshit.
Oh yeah, that's
We knew that he was fucking playing goofball bullshit after that.
yeah. No, that's
Like, dude, you're an LA Mexican from an SA family, bro. we know you're not a real gangster, bro.
no. He grew up in a gated community, bro. Come on. But yeah, I mean, Cody got the W. I mean, what's next for Cody? I know he was talking about trying to get the tag team titles back with Jey Uso.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they don't, because yeah, Cody needs to stop finishing side quests and just go. Just show up on SmackDown, Cody. You know, we know the draft doesn't mean shit. Just show up, challenge Roman. I know he's not going to be there, so pretty much going to be talking to yourself or Paul Heyman. But I don't know, man. I don't know how WWE is going to put this story back together, because right now I don't see it.
Right. All right, so that's it for that match right there. Let's get into the match, the main event. Oh, and by the way, yes, Cody Rhodes won the match, as he should. You know, like kind of we wouldn't want it any other way. Like if Cody didn't win that, I think we would have rioted anyways.
Yeah.
Right. But with that being said, match of the night again, 15-minute fucking promo in between the match. But we get Roman Reigns versus LA Knight. Okay, I'm one of the guys who I was always pro Roman Reigns for like the longest time.
Yep.
I am tired of fucking Roman Reigns at this point. I'm tired of Roman Reigns because they're billing him as the unstoppable fucking guy, but the way that they're writing him is exactly why I stopped liking fucking Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah.
You know,
force.
Yeah. Somebody posted a mock-up of like they were doing comparing title reigns.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Hulk Hogan's title reign versus Roman Reigns' title reign.
Yep.
And it's like Hulk Hogan's title reign was
468 title defenses.
Right. Was like like a shit ton of title defenses.
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns has had like 24.
Yeah.
In the same amount of time. So it's like, why the fuck are you guys like? Why don't you guys write stories or write this shit in a way where like the fucking everything matters again?
Yeah.
There's no respect for any of the fucking for any of the talent.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. Because me too. I was also a big Roman Reigns fan. I'm still a big Roman Reigns fan. I mean, I was a Roman Reigns fan when the whole world hated him.
So was I.
Huh?
So was I.
Yeah.
I've always been a big Roman Reigns fan. I liked Roman Reigns, but it's just kind of like at this point, the way he's being written, I'm fucking tired of it.
Yeah, and it's like, and I was talking to Brian on our show, and I was doing all the like comparisons of babyface Roman to heel Roman.
Right.
Everybody hated Roman because he was unstoppable as a babyface, and he would do it by himself. I know I brought up the that faction Vince McMahon created with Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio, Rusev, and Wade Barrett. What is it, League of Nations or something?
Yeah, League of Nations.
Yeah, and I'm like, see, that faction was created for the sole purpose to put Roman Reigns over. Everybody hated him, and I'm like, cool. Roman Reigns is, to me at that time, I was like, yeah, Roman Reigns is a guy. He beat all these top stars single-handedly. And now I'm seeing him, and I'm like, really? I know heels are supposed to cheat. Don't get me wrong. They're supposed to cheat. But again, it's like, bro, if you're the top fucking dog, why are you needing help? It's like, why? It's just lazy booking again. Poor creative. How you were saying they're booking him like Brock Lesnar. At least Brock Lesnar did it by himself.
Yeah.
You know, if Roman Reigns did it by himself too, I'd still be a fan, or I wouldn't be annoyed as I am now.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just I'm hating his booking, and I'm just hating everything about him right now.
Yeah, I'm tired of it.
Yeah, and I know they're doing this. WWE is doing this just so the fans can get pissed. And oh yeah, by the time WrestleMania comes around next year, you know you guys are gonna be cheering because Cody Rhodes is gonna be the champion. Well, no, duh, he better be the champion. We waited a whole fucking year.
Right. Especially like, you know, because that's what that's the whole thing. They're building the redemption story for Cody Rhodes, right? You know, especially like with the way that they're trying to book Cody Rhodes right now. I mean, the whole thing is trying to get him that redemption, but it's just, again, like you're giving Roman these wins.
Yeah.
That like he's not really earning them.
No, and that's another problem I have. It's like he doesn't need the help. You guys are just, oh yeah, he's a heel, so we're just gonna have somebody come out there and cheat for him.
Because that's the heel thing. I get that. Yeah. That's what you do with heels, but it's like, that's not what we want as fans.
No. And like I was saying, as a babyface, he was unstoppable. Yeah. Why can't they just do that? You know, that would be, you know, if they have Roman do that, like from now. Well, I don't even know if he's going to show up this year because there was a rumor that he's no longer going to show up until 2024. But, you know, just have him, just build him as a beast by himself. You know, he doesn't need help. Why does he get help all the time? But yeah, I'm just hating the way WWE is booking him. But I see why everybody hated him back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel like there's better booking that can be done that they're not doing.
Yeah. Oh, and let me ask you this: Did somebody come out and help another heel in this main event?
Yeah. About that.
Wow.
You know, it's like I said, it's getting really tiring to see, you know, them just not respecting.
Yeah, and it's
they're not respecting the fan base 100%.
Oh yeah, and then this is actually a question I'm gonna ask Brian on our show when we record. But I'm gonna ask you this: since we're talking about records and title reigns and title defenses, do you think this reign is gonna affect Roman Reigns in the future? There's gonna be a lot of discussion of people saying like, oh, you know, he's the best champion of all time because he surpassed these many legends. But when you go back in history, you're gonna see the title reigns. It's gonna be like what, a fraction of what those legends used to defend the title.
Yeah, I don't feel like Roman is gonna be held in the same esteem as a lot of these other legends. It's gonna be like an obvious, like it was a push that the WWE did in order to give him, you know, a longer reign, but it's like like there's no respect to the fan base on this at all.
Yeah, because I know just by looking at his title defenses, to me, I don't even think he's gonna even be in the GOAT debate. To be honest,
no, he won't be.
No,
he won't be at all. Like, and that's the thing is like he's not gonna be in the same conversations as, sadly, Bruno Sammartino and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Right, because like Bruno Sammartino and Hulk Hogan, at least they had, you know, like their title reigns were actual fucking title reigns.
Yes. Yeah, and then I know sometimes, you know, some world champions don't defend their title as often, but at least they're at the show every week. Right. I mean, can you just imagine The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin taking a vacation mid title reign for 3, 4, 5 months?
Not at all.
I mean, like that's horrible in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, and then WWE had to create this participation title for Seth Rollins just so they can have an actual champion show up every week.
Right, and that's exactly what it is. It's they created this title just so that they could have a champion that they could put up. You know, and it's like I do get, like, you know, if you're gonna give anybody a title reign, Seth Rollins is the guy to give it to.
Yeah.
Right, but it's like still.
Even Seth Rollins, he doesn't wrestle as often on TV. I think his last match on Raw last week was his first match in 2 months, but at least he's on the show every week.
Right.
You know,
Right. No, it's disrespectful to the fans.
Yeah.
Because they're doing is they're belittling our intelligence.
And it's something WWE likes to do, which is why a lot of people stop watching WWE.
Right.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I'm not a huge fan anymore. Glad I have other alternatives.
It's like, well, I can watch AEW, so I don't need to do this.
Yep. Watch CMLL, AAA, New Japan.
Right. I mean, and that's the thing is that there are other things that you can watch. WWE has just kind of lost sight of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of cringy to watch sometimes, but I mean, what can you do? You know, you got a wrestling podcast, so you got to watch.
Right. I mean, like it's the same thing. We cover wrestling on our show too, so I mean, we still watch a lot of the stuff. You know, whether we agree with it or not.
Yeah.
You know, we lean a lot of AEW now, but I mean, like, you know, we're never gonna like stop watching WWE.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, WWE has its moments, has some wrestlers that need to get pushed ASAP. But yeah, it has its moments.
It's one of those things where we keep giving them chances.
Yeah, no, see, that's why
Shit.
That's why I'm glad I didn't watch the PLE live, and I just waited for the next day to watch it because I knew I was just gonna sit there for 2-3 hours watching ads, watching promos. I'm like, no, I watched it yesterday actually for what? I think it took me like 2 hours, probably less, after just skipping everything.
I'm not gonna lie, I finished watching it right before we did the show.
Did you skip through all the ads and all that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it was only because I haven't really had time, and then also I was tired as fuck when I got home yesterday. Yeah. So I tried watching it yesterday, and I started falling asleep. So I finished watching it today. But I mean, still, you know, it's cringy, man.
Yeah, yes it is. Yes it is.
So I'm almost done here. I'm literally on like the last two pieces here. But yeah, man. As we get ready to start signing off, because that was it for the entire show.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and start giving us putting yourself over, man. Start giving us some plugs.
Oh yeah. So I'm Adrian. I'm with Trigger Wrestling. Me, my wife, Brian Garcia. That's my co-host. We do a weekly show on all social media platforms, on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. We also have a TikTok with a lot of interviews from fans. We go to a lot of wrestling events here in the Sacramento area, Northern California area. Yeah, check us out. You know, we have a Facebook, our social media page, Instagram. We like to do polls of, you know, favorite stars, favorite anything, moves. We have a lot of content going on right now. I think we have an interview. I don't know if you guys know of a guy, what's his name? Oscar King Studios. He does a lot of photography for luchadors. We have an interview with him coming out soon. We also have interviews with lots of fans as well, asking them their Mount Rushmore wrestling. But yeah, check us out. It's at Triggered Wrestling. That is TRIGGERED Wrestling, WRESTLING. On Twitter X, we are Trig_Wrestling. So check us out.
Fucking awesome. Oh, hold on, my mic's off. All right, there we go. Mic is back on. Awesome, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on and you know, helping do the interview with me here, man, and just talking.
No worries,
man. Hold on. James is saying acknowledge my comment right here.
What do you say?
That argument can be said for Gunther. But see, the thing about Gunther though, and I know we're trying to wrap up the show right now, but I mean, the thing about Gunther is he at least fights. We at least see him fight more often. He does way more title defenses than Roman does.
And he's the heel that doesn't get help.
Yes. Because he has a whole faction behind him, and they don't do shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like if you're gonna build a top heel, build him like that. Roman should have gotten built like Gunther.
Yeah. We should definitely be getting more Gunther energy from Roman. Gunther surprises me because he's the dude that nobody expected to be the fucking 3-year title reign IC champion, you know?
Yep. Yeah, to be honest, I think and that's the thing I have with the US title. It's like, why can't you guys just do the same? You know, I know you guys can't book everybody the same, but it's like, do something, even with story-wise, do something like that.
He's saying Roman defended the title against Sammy tonight,
Roman or Rollins?
or probably Rollins.
Oh, yeah.
Have
No
Cody,
spoilers. No spoilers.
but with the Judgment Day interference,
Oh.
then on Raw, Cody, the newest member of Judgment Day. No, man, I don't want Cody to be a part of Judgment Day. I like the faction that they're building with Cody right now. I think that they should allow that faction to start thriving and making it more of a like let Cody continue doing his thing on his own.
Mhm.
And if he has kind of what they did with Jay on Saturday is you don't have Jay interfere in the match for him. Jay just basically stops other people from interfering.
Yeah.
I want that because then Cody is still doing it on his own.
Yeah.
And that's how you have that story with Cody Rhodes. You know, like again, we're acknowledging you, James.
Yeah.
Big ups to all the Triggered Wrestling. Yes, big ups to all you guys because your whole team's been in the chat here. He's a goon. I'll give you that. And then Rollins. So he was saying that Rollins defended, and I mean Rollins is defending his title a little bit more. And Rollins does show up on Raw a little more often than Roman shows up on SmackDown. Yeah. When Roman does show up on SmackDown, he's just talking and walking away. Yeah. And his minions are fighting for him, but it's like I want to see like. I've always said that, like, I want to see more of like Attitude Era style where you had a title defense every Monday. Yep. Every Monday on Raw, there was a title defense. Yep. And I want more of that.
Yeah. Right? And like kind of like Becky Lynch title reign. I liked it. She defended on Raw and on NXT.
Right.
It was great.
Yeah. Yeah. I want more of that. Yep. So, all right, guys. So, I got into this whole rant about, wrestling and all that, and it's mostly because I was just acknowledging the chat and making sure that we acknowledge the chat because hey, like usual, we don't get any of this done without any of you guys. So again, I thank everybody in the chat tonight. Thank all of you guys here for hanging out with us tonight on this extra show. Now again, before I do all of our plugs here, we are still having a regular week for the show this week. So tomorrow we are doing a download from 6:30 to 8:30. We've got a big show tomorrow. We're going to be talking news, rumors. We've got a bunch of trailers. We've got 2 episodes of Loki to cover. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to be covering tomorrow on the download. So just a giant size copy of the download tomorrow. Of course, on Thursday, we're having another episode of The Build. I'm probably going to end up finishing the castle on Thursday, which means next week we'll be starting the Disney villains set. Actually, I'll show it to you here. So as much as I love this Harry Potter thing, this is a Disney villains book,
shit.
Right?
Hold on, let me take a picture of that. Let me show that to my wife. Hold on. Or actually, wait, she's watching on YouTube right now.
Yeah, it's a Disney villains bookend, so it has all the villains on here. It comes with Maleficent, the Maleficent, the genie, right? The red genie. So Jafar is the genie.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah. It's got the evil witch from Snow White and Gaston, but then also the bookshelf itself has a copy of Sleeping Beauty's book, a copy of Beauty and the Beast. It has the Little Mermaid as a VHS tape, and it has the apple and Aladdin with a playing card on it, right? So like all the different things that it comes with.
Nice.
It's pretty dope.
How much was that?
More than I wanted to spend. So, but it's for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jafar Genie, exactly. Tony Khan sucks his booking.
Yeah, that's what boy had triggered him. That's why he's coming on the chat.
Brian, I see it right here. Brian, shout outs to Brian, shout outs to Caitlin, shout outs to all you guys. Right on for being in the chat tonight. So again, this Thursday, our guest is Travis Knott. He is a local comic book and memorabilia store owner from Oregon.
Oh, okay.
And we see him at cons all the time. He helps us out. He's actually the guy that got me. He got me an original first edition run of Last Ronin. Also, all 5 books of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles last run. Sorry, he got me first edition runs of all the books.
Oh, nice.
So shout outs to Travis Knott. Support him. We'll have him on Thursday. We're gonna be talking with him. So it's gonna be, stay tuned, guys. We still have a fun week ahead of us. With that all being said, of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to connect with us at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Discord, MySpace, Vine, GeoCities, Friendster, Second Life, AIM, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, OnlyFans. It's only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and mandals and the beard. That's it. And of course, if you'd like to break up with your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, pet, schoolyard bully, annoying neighbor, or just want to tell us how much you enjoy us, hate us, or just wish the internet would consume us completely, send us an email at dist. Sorry, long run here because I'm switching pages. Let's try this again. Send us an email at dist @AOL.com. You get the joke there. There's a long pause between E and the A there. Okay. @AOL.com. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. Remember, thanks and keep nerding together. And do you guys have a catchphrase?
Stay triggered.
Boom. All right, guys, that's it from us. Let's do you remember the dance party?
Yep.
All right, let's get this going. It's time for the dance party. Boom. See what you got.
The Meat Man.
Distance nerding.
Yes, it's Clank.
Speaking of Ronin, that is right here. Down the reef.
Yeah. Yarr!
Oh, and I should show that guy. Conan.
Johnson!
Is that Deadpool?
Yes, it is. We'll see everybody tomorrow.